Welcome to episode 8 of the Lore Maidens. We are a Scottish group of role players who are all ladies and one dude. Andrew, our fairest maiden there, adjusting himself. I am your DM. I am your DM, Emma. I go by Hamalu on the internet, and I will let the maidens introduce themselves.
Okay, I'll go first this time. I'm Jane. I play Amber, the Fire Genasi Hex Witch, and you can find me on Twitter under lame_Jane.
I'm Hannah. Sorry, I blanked out there briefly because professional. Go by Horseshoe Hannah on the internet. I play Skip, the Goliath Barbarian, kind of supervisor to the group. But it doesn't matter. No one cares, etc. Andrew, hi.
Hello world, Andrew here, Casual Heresy on Twitter, playing Eric, the grumpiest dwarf in all of creation.
He is indeed. He is indeed. So, to recap what we were doing last week, I want to
recap.
Sorry, I didn't even notice it myself.
We've already got a typo on the levels of Urban Gird.
Yeah. Urban Gird.
Talk of that, shush.
Recap. To recap for last week, can you guys do our now tradition of rolling a d20, and the lowest has to tell us what happened last week?
Should we also
y'all brushed up on what we were doing?
I mean, yes. Oh, glorious DM. Yes.
Glad to hear it. Right, Jane, what'd you get?
A natural 20, baby.
Yeah. I feel like that should be immunity for next week. It's not.
Yeah.
But
I rolled a 20 last week. That should be immunity.
Indeed.
No, it's not.
No,
It's not.
Right, Hannah, what'd you get?
13.
Andrew, what'd you get?
9.
Okay. Andrew, since you've had a few weeks where you haven't been eligible, so this is making up for that.
This is making up for it.
Yeah.
On the day I know I've got all my notes. Shut up.
You don't have your notes. Shut up.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Previously on Lore Maidens. So we started off in the Urban Guard, waking up to another glorious day. And we decided today that the party was going to split up a wee bit. Baishra wandered off to find a leather worker to get those lovely straps of hers repaired, because they were torn up in our last adventure. Ember and Skip wandered off to see Marbeth. I'm pronouncing his name right.
Yeah.
Our wizardy friend. He doesn't like Eric.
He's your friend.
His friend, but he doesn't like Eric, and
Doesn't
Eric
really
likes
like
winding him
either.
up.
To be fair.
Yeah.
He's warming. To
We're
Skip,
working on it.
Whereas Eric's just a dick, so.
I mean,
yeah, he is. There's no way around it.
it's not family around.
So they wandered up to see him. Well, Eric decided it was time to make some more bullets, because I've burned through them in various ways. However, on the check to create the bullets, I rolled a natural 1, which has yielded 20 dodgy as fuck bullets. Which,
Janky bullets.
if the janky bullets are used, they may or may not explode.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Their official note is bullets ?
Yeah, it's very like Russian roulette kind of. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've got plans to deal with those. So yeah, there was much cursing. We heard. I believe the foundations shook. Anyway, our friends went off to see Marbeth, who had been consulting with his own colleagues about the mysterious nature of the creepy black tears. What don't feel right. He gave us the names of 2 of his colleagues.
Which were?
And because I'm terrible at listening, I only got their second names. So we have Orion and Thindle Whistle. Did I get it right?
We had Zalman Orion, who was a halfling sorcerer, kind of planar kind of dude. Yeah, correct, DM?
Yep.
Notes being
And the other
taken.
one's a gnome.
The other one was called... I think I misheard his name also. Apologies for that noise stream. just plugged in my phone. Pigwelly? Pigwelly?
Mm-hmm.
Pigwelly?
Yeah.
P-I-G Welly? Findlewissick?
Yeah, it's close.
The whistle.
Close, yeah.
I got Findle Whistle.
Findlewhistle. Gnome wizard, professor of the necromantic arts.
Yeah, Chuck, you show off. You're like, excuse me, Andrew, I'm here now.
I think you'll find.
Yeah, we all know our
Find
stuff.
I took notes last week.
Yes.
So anyway, now this is still I always struggle. It's the Tower of Whispers.
Question mark?
Whispering Tower, yeah.
The Whispering Tower.
Yeah.
Which is 2 weeks away by horse in a slightly enchanted forest, which means you can't really find it unless you're invited.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been invited to speak with Marbeth's colleagues up there, so we are planning to set off. However, before we could set off on this epic quest, we had to get some time off work. So in exchange for the time off we need to go and investigate, since it is a threat to the town, we have gone off, had a little job into the forest to track down some highly agitated... Oh, what's their name again? Because I can't pronounce it too well.
Knolls.
Gnolls, that's the one. Gnolls, which Eric really doesn't
correct?
like. Yes,
Werepug.
I have decided... I mean, Eric's decided that they are werepugs.
Yeah.
Because when they were described to me as short-faced, hairy creatures, I immediately thought of a pug on 2 legs with a sword, as you do. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're werepugs, but they are more highly alike.
Yes.
We camped down at the edge of the forest for the night, and throughout the night, we heard a band of them getting closer and closer, to the point where we were able to ambush them. And glorious slaughter ensued.
Did indeed.
Yeah. But as we discovered when the janky bullets were hit.
Nearly hit.
You're muted, Andrew. Is Andrew
Oh.
muted?
No.
No.
He's back.
That
I was
weird.
gone.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Anyway, I'm done. So.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Round of
So-
applause.
Congrats.
Well
yeah.
done.
So.
I think we're
Yeah, that-
getting slightly slicker at this, perhaps.
Bravo,
Maybe.
bravo. Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there.
Maybe.
Yeah, so when we last left off, you have completed at least part of the task. You're aware of now the Gnolls and have encountered them coming out of the forest. You know that they've become more aggressive than usual and frantic, and they're coming out of the woods in greater numbers than they ever used to. So you may not have necessarily found the source, but you've started to find the effects.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
After the slaughter has finished, you then hunker back down again, being a little more on your guard, knowing that there are more of them in the area, but do manage to succeed in your
back,
long
sorry.
rest. It's okay. Yeah, you succeed in your long rest, and you
Good.
awaken very early that morning.
Did was there a definitive answer as to whether or not Ember burnt my tent down? I don't remember.
No, she did not burn your tent down.
No,
Just
I
checking.
missed everything.
She
I
very
missed-
nearly. She was
missed
missed
one, yeah.
everything except Eric. You hit him square between the shoulder blades.
And almost blew me up further.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's this?
You know,
It's fine.
it's a
These are
danger we
boys.
all sign up for, fighting alongside each other in
Oh.
battle.
Such raw power is balanced by the fact she almost always dies.
We might.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about
So,
Is the technology misbehaving?
it. Yes.
there's monkeys chewing all the wires.
No, werepugs. Werepugs.
Werepugs. The
Probably the
werepugs
werepugs.
or what's it? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So you've awoken. It is morning. Morning is broken, if you will.
Like the first.
Morning has
Almost.
Yeah, anyways, yeah.
Close. It's close to the first morning. Yeah. So you're free to investigate further.
Excellent.
What do you wanna do?
It'd be super handy if we had our tracker with us right now.
So should we explain where Beistra is?
Yeah.
/ Michelle?
Well, Michelle is definitely having technology issues. She lives way out in the sticks. Like there's living in the countryside and there's living in the countryside. So she's having some technical problems. So she's not going to be with us tonight, sadly. But you can just assume that Beishra is alongside.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So we've had our long rest. Maybe we should try and figure out like where they came from, so we can find the source as to what they're running away from. What does everybody think?
Well, we know they come from deeper in the forest.
Yeah, but we need to find the specific what they're actually running away from.
Mm-hmm.
So we might just have to traipse through.
Yeah.
Hope for the best. We could attempt
Yeah,
some
for sure,
tracking.
for sure.
It can be assumed that given that it's colder weather, Beishra often gets quieter around this time. It's harder for her to heat up.
Oh, okay.
She's
Well,
a little sluggish.
yeah.
Sorry, my internet dropped out again.
Yeah, we're having some actual quite big issues. Hi.
We're
Hello.
back!
Sorry about that. Pro streams.
Tech gremlins and all that.
Yeah.
But we're back and we're ready to get kicking again. We have decided to head off into the woods to discover what is driving these gnolls into a frenzy.
Into the woods.
Into the woods.
I want
Making
to
your
get
way.
through one stream without singing that, please.
I know.
You
I
have
was
to
just
not
thinking
No.
about
Basically.
I
No,
just
it must
it's
always
not
happen.
it's not my musical, okay, that's all.
I don't even like I literally it's just that one bit that
Yeah.
keeps sticks in my head.
And the fact that
Between that
Prince
and
Charming's a
Make 'em
dick.
Away. Yeah, making my way downtown always gets stuck in my head as well.
I mean, that's a
make
tune,
your
though.
way down the street.
That's the tune. Anyway, Dur, we're here.
Dur,
Let's
dur.
do it.
All right.
So,
What were we doing?
Hmm.
We're going to find out what's the beef with the gnolls, right?
aye.
Yeah. What's their
So-
beef, Chief?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If one of you guys want to roll a d20 and add 4 to it, we can let your ranger friend do a
Ooh.
survival check.
20. Unnatural.
Hey. Okay. So you successfully roll for Beishra. She manages to
I am
track
Beishra now.
the movements of the gnolls who had came and tried to attack you on their way back into the woods. So at least she's following a fairly regular path. You travel for a little bit. You can hear more noises of now what you know to be gnolls. They're never too close that it feels like a fight is imminent, but they're always there and on that periphery of your sound. You're aware that they're in the woods, and the constant noise suggests to you that there is something up, because any kind of creature or
Creature
any
alert.
like to attack something, you're not going to be making that much noise in the woods. So the fact that they are making so much noise suggests that there is something going on.
Okay.
Is it definitely distressed sounding noises, or is it just activity noises?
It's hard to tell. You can roll an insight for me if you want.
That's a good idea.
Yes, please. I don't think I've actually done an insight check. I'm really good at it.
ever.
Well, I've got +4. 15.
Nice. It does sound frenzied. Whether that is a frantic as in a fearful or like a bloodthirsty, you're not entirely sure because it doesn't go one way or the other. It's just this kind of frenzied, frantic noise that seems to be coming from them. That weird like hooting laugh kind of noise that comes out of a hyena. There's a lot of that mixed with growls going on. It's hard to tell if it's that they are sitting upon something and hunting in the woods, or sitting upon each other, or just generally communicating. You don't know gnolls enough to necessarily know the difference, but it's not like their normal kind of call.
Okay.
Let's see.
Something's
okay.
up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's go run to the scary place where they came from. That seems
Just
smart.
run.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Why not? Just
Classic
fucking
Lore Maiden
tell it
style.
way.
Ran
Yeah.
straight into danger.
Straight to the end.
Yeah, just like the
That's
dragon
true.
instant.
Yeah. Are you just powering through? Are you trying to be subtle with your movements? Are you going towards the sound, or are you just following these tracks? Which of all of the above?
Oh no.
Should we try
Combination
it subtly, but maybe we'll just follow these tracks? Maybe.
Mhm.
Although if we're following Gruten, maybe they ran away from whatever's causing problems, so they haven't come from where it was.
What do you mean?
Well, the group that attacked us, they might not have come straight from where
Okay.
whatever is causing them grief is lurking, because they might have run away from it and came from somewhere else. So this path might not lead us there. Or it
I
could.
think
and I'm
we
talking
should
crap.
still go and see where they came from. I think.
Okay.
So you don't think we should
should
go
we-
to the noise?
I mean, we could just go home. That works fine for me.
That's
And
not the
Lore-
attitude, boss. We gotta go find this. We don't know what
And
it
the party
is.
gave up, got fired, and were unemployed until they died of cold in the next winter. The end.
I
Great
mean, it'll
campaign,
free
guys.
you up to go and investigate up at the Whispering Tower at least.
Well, I'm intrigued. I need to find out what's happening here. Because what if it's something to do with the... What if there's another terror?
That's what
I don't
Skip
know.
thinks. Skip
Hmm.
being me in the third person.
Doing a Donald Trump there.
Doing a Hannah,
Mm.
honestly. I suspect that they're running from a big spooky terror in the sky.
Yeah.
Plus, we accepted this job. We're honor bound to complete it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Good point.
It's
Good
honor.
point there,
Yeah,
Eric.
exactly.
I like this attitude. Correct.
Yeah.
I'm
Professionalism.
sorry, I just had a moment there. I just.
It's been... Yeah,
you
know.
you needed your team to like rally you back and just
Yeah.
center you, remind you what's important.
He keeps us on the straight and narrow most of the time. We've got to do
Yeah.
the same for him.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
lose sight.
Just
I
having a bad day, okay.
Who, Hannah or Skip? No,
Who
I
can
suggest-
say?
I suggest that we maybe go towards the noise, and then as quietly as possible, because there might be a lot of them, and we
Mhm.
might figure out what it is. They might be there with them, so. I
Sure.
don't know.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Let's try and stealth.
Yay! Yeah.
Okay. Can everyone roll stealth for me,
I
please?
don't know why I said I have the worst
Ooh.
now.
I know, right? Who am I? What am I doing?
Is
You
she?
don't know what the dice are gonna do.
That's
You don't
true.
I mean, I had a fair guess, but
Oh, I'm a ninja. Okay.
know. Ember, what'd you get?
I got a 20. Not natural.
Cool. Eric, what'd you get?
17.
And Skip?
4.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, it's alright.
I could
You're
If
all
we
right,
do,
it's not.
Cool, cool,
generally
cool,
when you're all stealthing collectively as a group,
Mhm.
you do like
Mhm.
law of averages between it all. So your party members kind of carry you through that check. You're being a little heavy-footed, but
Bringing down that average.
yeah,
Yeah.
Away.
Thankfully, they're not being very perceptive.
My God.
So you make your way through, make your way downtown, and
Mocking loudly.
the knolls are passing,
Yeah.
and you're terror-bound. Okay, so yeah, you make your way through the woods. You're being as stealthy and quiet as you are each individually capable of, and eventually you're aware that you can hear more of the noises coming from the gnolls. There's definitely more of a chatter. You can hear their movements through the forest as well. You become aware that there's a few grouped relatively nearby and just moving around. It's not so much that they've heard you and they're stalking you. They're just generally in the space at the same time. And you become aware. In fact, roll me perceptions just to see how much details you actually are aware of.
Okay.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Are we all middling there? Ember, what'd you get?
Absolutely average.
6.
Okay.
Below average, but it's fine.
Eric,
These
what'd you
cameras.
get?
Jeez.
12.
12.
I know.
And Skip.
19.
19. Nice. So yeah, Ember, you're aware that there are gnolls around, and you're probably just feeling a bit hesitant and tentative, knowing that they're nearby. That in greater numbers, you guys could really be in serious trouble being in the midst of them all here. So you're definitely on edge. Eric becomes aware that there is a group that had been relatively nearby and slightly ahead of you that seems to have started to make a noise and a ruckus and move at a fast pace past you, not necessarily towards you, just they come closer and then go further away again. And it's Skip who listens to their patterns. This is more a sort of collection of skills that you gained when you lived with your fellow Goliaths, and living a more nomadic lifestyle, being around those of your tribe who would have done hunting. You can be that kind of perceptive and aware of other creatures in a natural area and their movements and motives. So you are aware that there's a group that have run, and just through the sheer noise and the pace that they're running and the lack of care they're putting to being quiet, something has spooked them from the direction ahead of you, and they are running away from it past you.
Interesting. I relay this information. I don't have a beard to do that with.
Yeah.
Eric does. He'll stroke it.
One of you does, yeah.
It's Ember.
Yeah, it'll be far more glorious than mine.
I think we should just continue on, guys. We need to see what this is. Why are they running away so crazily?
Aye. I think the definite reason for us being here is directly towards where we don't want to go.
It does tend to be the way with our adventures, so.
Yeah. Let's go.
Go
Challenge into the face of danger.
Onwards.
Yeah. Friendship is mad.
Friendship is magic. Okay. That's only acceptable when we were all horses. It's no longer acceptable.
We're always horses. There will always be
Michelle's
Aurora.
not here to defend My Little Pony. Oh,
I did.
We just won't
I
tell
don't
her.
actually like My Little Pony at all. I just like saying.
I used to when I was 5, like OG in the 80s, My Little Pony. I used to dig
had
that.
some old school ones back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, so can I get one of you, anyone, it can be Andrew again, or one of the others can take it, roll another d20 and add 4 to have your unless anyone else fancies taking it.
Does anybody else want to roll
No,
for
you
it?
go
Your
for it.
your main survival
Yeah.
checker.
14.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I feel because I feel like being generous on the whole when you're doing active checking and doing things, your party members who are not here are going to be low key and not rolling. But for something like this, like an active skill, I don't care. Yeah. So that's enough to be making her way towards the sound, realizing the quieter places to put footfall. So you guys are just kind of falling into with her. She's probably leading you through this area because it starts to get denser. I mean, it's no rainforest or dense woodland by any means, but you guys are kind of following her lead because this is one of her more natural habitats. As you approach this area, you notice that any other sounds, I mean, the cries of the gnolls are enough that general natural sounds like your birds and that were quieter, but they were around. And now you just find that everything's kind of gone real quiet. And cue the music change.
Yay!
But yeah, so you're aware that there's a change to the air. There's a slight chill. Can I get another perception check from everyone, just to see how you get on with making your way through these woods and what you're picking up on?
Sure can, boss DM.
Yeah.
I
would have just taken
how this works. Hang on.
Okay. Ember, what'd you get?
Again, another 6.
Nice. You're still spooked. Eric, what'd you get?
8.
Excellent
Doing
work.
well, guys.
Excellent work. And Skip.
11.
I mean, better than us.
That's fine. Can I also, while you're approaching, so you guys don't necessarily pick up on anything specific.
Hole in
You're
my
aware
jumper.
that the air has changed, it feels a little colder, the sounds of animals have gone. It's different. As you're approaching, I'm curious, I should have a note here somewhere, but I think it's fallen off. I have like a back wall of all my information and things. And I did have passive perceptions up, so can you guys tell me, because it doesn't appear to be there right now, what your passive perceptions are?
Mine's 12.
11.
Where's my note? Where's my note?
Under your skills.
So it is.
I know that. Oh. Note to self: update character sheets on website.
Just build the skills under, just like it has a little box by itself.
13.
Yeah.
13. Okay.
It's
so
faded
it
a bit.
is-
That was my problem.
It is Eric who notices, although I will say that with the general dexterity or lack thereof, Skip physically comes into contact with something.
Oh no!
You're aware, Eric, that as you're coming in, you're not really hearing the sounds, and I was gonna make an evil jibe about you being a dwarf and you're close to the ground, but I won't, even though I just said it.
I won't do it. I just
Yeah, you
won't
just
do
won't.
it.
You might as well. The damage is done. You might as well finish me.
Commit to it.
So you're walking through the woods, aware of these changes, and because there's no sounds in the upper region, your instinct is to look down, and you realize that there are a couple of corpses nearby. They appear relatively humanoid. Most of them look like bundles of rags right now. So it's hard to make out details. And Skip, you're walking and you kind of trip over one, and it doesn't feel, not trip over like fall over, but just that kind of stumble.
Yeah.
Catch yourself and realize that what you stumbled over didn't feel like forest floor.
Oh no!
Did I get like gross on my shoes?
That's your concern right now.
Not any.
I have very
not
nice
any more than
boots.
what you.
You could
Not any
levitate.
more than you would naturally get on the forest floor. Not
Okay.
anymore.
Can I investigate it, please?
Sure. You
I
turn
flip
around,
down
you're
my
like,
goggles,
"Oh, what's
just-
that?" Yeah. What was that?
And like immediately start hovering because I don't want to touch anything. Like
Yeah. You may.
I look cool as fuck.
Investigate.
Thank
Yeah. And Eric, what do you want to do now that you've seen?
I will also investigate a body. Not quite wanting to touch it, so I'm gonna draw my sword.
Thank you,
and
Arson, for the 100
prod-
bits, by the way. Very cute.
Well,
thank you.
Arson.
We're discussing. They're in chat. They're discussing Eric's sword and bullet situation.
Yeah, I do like the idea that we got the bullets so wrong they're actually swords now.
Vorpal swords, no less. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, anyway, I'm going to draw my sword and not prod it with the blade, because that would be a bit disrespectful, but prod a bit with the pommel. So sort of flipping it around and using it to sort of lift up.
Yeah, a wee poke.
Aye. We
Have I seen them? Have I seen the bodies on the floor yet, or have I noticed Skip falling over one of the things? Or rags on the floor.
You would be relatively aware that something's happened, yeah.
Okay.
And you would probably kind of stop when they both stop and turn around and be like, "What you doing, guys?" And you see them both looking down at the ground. So can I get investigation rolls from the two who are actively inspecting?
Yes, oh great glorious DM.
Did I say what it was? Because I've already forgotten what we rolled.
Oh no,
Oh, okay.
or not that.
I mean, it
accurate
wasn't a
anyway.
very good one. That second one, so.
Okay. What did you get, Eric?
15, please.
15. Okay. And what did Skip get?
12.
Okay. Skip, it looks like a body that's been dead for a while. It doesn't look like a fresh corpse or one that has big, grievous wounds through it. And Eric, you realize that they're the corpses of gnolls. But the one that you're looking at, it looks like half of its face has just kind of sloughed off, and it's just got bone exposed. And it's not that it's overly rotten. It's not like it's been here for years. It's just like it's becoming skeletal. A large part of it, you can see under the robes that it's like a lot of the flesh is just not there anymore.
My brain just went to, it's rotten!
It's rotten! It's frozen!
Sorry.
Okay, yes. Sorry, my cat is trying to ninja sneak behind me.
Eric will withdraw the pommel of his sword, wipe it on the ground, because that's a bit nasty, that is.
I'm so worried you were going to say Skip. I'm so worried.
No, we're not as bad as Hesper. I know Hesper took a delight in messing up
Salty's cape.
Salty's clothes, but
I was going to say, I don't need to repeat that.
I missed the long sword of excessive gore. It was a great magic weapon. Anyway, back to the present timeline. Yes, he will reveal his findings to the group while seating his short sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way, now that after we've done that, I can do a medicine check on them to see if I know maybe what killed them or how they died?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's why I was like, have I seen it yet? Can I do it?
Yeah, you have seen it. You just noticed it after they did.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 13.
Okay. You kind of check over the bodies to see if there's any wounds or if it was an illness or that kind of thing, like a poisoning. There's usually some kind of signature on these bodies. And you're not really recognizing any of it. If anything, the vibe you're getting, especially because you're a magic caster, you have arcana abilities. It seems more magical in a way, or extremely rapid rotting that's not natural.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what I would roll for this, but because in episode 1, when we first came upon that tear, Skip went up and I went up and kind of investigated it, and it felt like dread, like death and stuff.
Yeah.
Would I be able to sense that if it's around?
You would roll a history check. It's like personal history. It's like a recalling information.
Just rolled a fucking 1.
Oh no. That's okay.
I would say that it's one of those moments, which I'm sure you've all experienced, where you kind of half go there with a thought, and then you just completely lose it, and you're like, what was I doing? What was I thinking?
Happens all the time.
I was distracted because we just got 2,500 bits from Dictator.
So what?
Thank you, please.
What?
Thank you.
Wait, no, that's not right. That can't be right.
1,500.
1,500.
1,500.
Still, hot damn. I made
That's still exciting.
my OBS is
I was
blurry.
like, what? Is that a thing?
Thank you. That's so generous.
Very
Thank you very
generous.
much.
Sorry, I'm
Thank you.
completely blind. But...
Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not enough to help a natural one, so.
Ooh.
Nothing can help that
Skip
shame.
is inspired.
He remembers
Yes.
nothing. Skip is singing in his head. Doing nothing
Skip
else.
kind of, he did I walked into the kitchen and why did I come here? I don't remember.
It's far too real. Far too real.
Yes.
Yep.
Preach. So yeah, you're not sure.
Thank you for
But it
correcting me,
seems
Rev.
that these bodies,
I
these bodies they're all kind of facing the same way, and it's like they landed in the direction that you came from.
Like they were
If that
blown
makes
back.
sense. or moved this way, or like it's hard to tell, but they all kind of,
Okay.
rather than as if they were going in the same direction you are, the bodies had been going the other way, or at least fell back this way.
Oh. Okay, I see. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Scott. Sorry, my bad. Also, yes.
Okay.
Cool.
I think we just keep going. We need to figure out what this is. We know what it is. Well, we have an inkling of what it is, but it might give us a little more information that we can go and tell the people at the Whispering Tower, I guess.
And also,
Probably.
fuck me, what is his name? Elgar. One of these days I'm going to remember his name.
Boy.
Yeah, or
Elgar
like
Boy.
the character we
The guy
interact
you
with
met
daily.
day one.
They literally every single week his
I
name
was
is
going to
Right.
call him
Alright.
Liam Neeson. Like, what? Wrong
Yeah.
campaign, and also still wrong.
Still wrong.
So we need to find out like what the deal is, because
Yeah.
you know, wider problems aside, we were assigned this job, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Let us finish.
Onwards, team. Tally ho.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm still floating, by the way. I'm like, whoop.
Okay.
Eric's gonna draw the guns just to.
The girls.
He doesn't like it.
He's gonna
no.
take out the girls, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys kind of prepare yourselves in a way, and make your way, in further. You continue to get this growing sense of just chill down your spine. It's like when they say that somebody's walked over your grave, that kind of just sudden
Ooh.
you're kind of feeling a perpetual sense of that as you walk through this area. And before long, you start to see a few more of these corpses just lying on the ground, slumped. They appear to be more ravaged. They're mostly skeletal. There's maybe the occasional bit of flesh left over on an arm or a sinew of muscle, but mostly they're skeletal. And you start to hear a noise as well, and I'll say, Eric, with your higher passive, you suddenly kind of take a bit of a what's that, because you haven't heard any noise at all for a while. Sorry, my cat's decided to come and join me. Hi, Molly.
Oh yay! I see an ear.
She's entirely in the way.
Standard.
Yes, standard cat. Okay, down you go. There you go.
Thought we were gonna head towards the butt parade again there.
You know,
It's been a while since we've had that.
I'm not.
Oh, you're breaking up a wee bit, Emma.
You're aware of there has been something of an absence of noise in the past few minutes, and you see what appears to be a more skeletal gnoll, but it's standing and it's moving.
Oh hell no!
Can I get a perception from everyone?
Must
Ooh.
I?
Yes, you can.
Can I go home now?
I mean, you can elect not
No,
to.
no,
You
I
can
won't.
have Skip
That's
just
fine.
close his eyes and be like, no.
Nope.
Go to my
Nope.
happy place.
It's fine, it's fine. I rolled okay. Oh dear.
Okay. I rolled a 12 on my perception. If Amalu?
Emma, you still there? No, we win D&D, guys.
Huh,
done.
there
Yeah.
she is. There she
I
is.
don't-
Damn it.
yeah. I think it was all that excitement. Everyone suddenly laughed, and then the sound cut out, and I was like, what the? Oh, god damn
It's
it.
happening in
The
real
boxes
life.
you created have to
Yeah.
We're just redone.
I rolled a 12 on my perception. Just for the
Just
second
to let
time,
y'all
just in case
know.
you missed it.
I Oh, Hamalu's internet rip.
Okay.
I rolled a 19 if anyone's interested.
Ooh, that's really good.
Same.
you.
Oh, well done, guys. That's so
Yeah, it's
exciting.
great. Oh my god, we see everything and all the monsters.
Hello.
Horror.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Hi, sorry.
Yeah. Hey.
Seriously, screw these
I just-
problems
went
we're
and
having
closed-
tonight.
closed out the cat. Yeah, I don't know. My internet just suddenly decided to start acting up. As if we hadn't had enough issues.
So we beat the monster and we won the campaign.
Yeah.
We got all the gold and the XP.
It was all a dream. The tears.
Yep. She hasn't protested. Yep, we're right.
Skip got them heavy feet and hawk eyes. Yeah, the truth, Rev, I know. Eric's just nearer the ground, you can like hear stuff.
Aye.
Yeah, what did Skip get?
The field vibration.
19, okay. Yeah, you guys all kind of roll high enough that as you're approaching this area, you notice that there's kind of like you're starting to approach a back wall in a way. It's like a hollow in this woodland. And you see more of these things moving around. They don't seem immediately aggressive on your first approach. You guys are still being fairly light-footed as you enter. But you do seem to stir up general noise. And that first one that you walk past, which is the closest to you guys, kind of stops and turns and looks at you despite the fact it's got no eyes.
Nope.
And the rest of them all kind of turn. Kind of almost like the fact that he saw it, they all saw it. It's very creepy. And you see a whole sweep of these things suddenly turn around and
what did they do?
Look
and walk away and everything's fine.
Oh, did my sound cut out there?
Yeah.
A lot. So they suddenly turned around and looked at us, I guess.
Yeah, I did a very dramatic. You've got all these guys looking at you. Roll initiative.
Oh.
Damn internet.
Well, I'm picturing the guys from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the White Walkers.
Yeah.
I was picturing kind of White Walker meerkats, like they all kind of just perked up and like.
Yeah.
Here we are.
But... See, has anybody played
Yeah.
Destiny, the first one?
No.
No. Anyway, there's a scene at the end of Destiny where you come into the heart of darkness, and then all the Vex robots they reassemble themselves and then just turn one by one to stare at you.
It sounds relaxing.
That's exciting. Yeah.
It was not relaxing. There was evil death gunk and everything, just like this. Anyway,
Also, the
roll
music's on
initiative.
and it's really manic.
Everything, yeah.
like our lives.
I think.
Sweeper's always really good though. Trying to fill the silence. La la la.
Tell us a joke, Andrew.
Hello.
My life.
Hello. We've rolled initiative. We are ready to fight.
Yep.
Hi.
It's just an IRL stream now of us singing.
I know.
I know. Sorry. It keeps ducking in for me, and then I start talking and it ducks out again.
We literally
It
are.
knows.
Yeah.
You can smell fear.
It's really annoying. Quickly, while it seems to be working right now, Amber, what'd you get?
16.
Eric?
17.
Skip?
1. Kind of -1, so nothing.
-1.
Top.
You stand there and drool for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I have a series of small seizures and die.
Yeah,
And
I
okay.
want to be here, so.
Eric, you're up to act first.
Yay!
And you see there's like quite a big bunch of them. So take your pick, basically.
That
They're
first one that turned us.
relatively- They range from being about 15 feet away to about 50 feet away.
Well, I'm gonna go for the closest and fire with Dandelion. Let's go, girl. Ooh, what is that? What have we got? That'll be 13. No, 14. Sorry, I can't count because I'm an English student.
Oh my god, it's so tense. Does it hit? Oh.
I kind of hope it doesn't because it was a shit damage roll.
I don't know. I believe in your janky.
And this is using a normal, but no, the janky bullets are in a separate bag.
Okay.
They're not being used. I've got 38 normal bullets left.
100% should have mixed them all in together.
Right?
That'd
More
be
fun.
way more fun. I'm
Way
gonna do it
more
while you're
fun.
sleeping.
It would not be fun. No, it would be a terrible idea, and
No.
everyone involved would be. It'll be the hand cannon instant all over again.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's all part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm a
yeah.
healer. It'll end up being me getting shot, but I'm the
Yeah,
healer.
you're the one who dies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like you've killed them all. Oh, there we go. She's back. Woo!
Hi.
Oh.
Huzzah!
Kind of. It's still acting up.
Janky cocktail of fun and chaos. That describes
Exactly.
this stream.
Yeah.
Let alone
And our
Eric's bullets.
lives. Right, Emma's back. Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah, let's D&D.
And Eric, you're up first. Proceed to hit the thing, please.
Well, I did before we clocked out.
What did you get?
I got a 14 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
Nice.
Yes. For 5 damage.
5. Okay. Good start. Excellente. Ember, you are up next. There's quite a few of them out on the battlefield now.
How many?
Do a quick perception for me just to do a sweeping battle. In your 6
9.
seconds. 9. A handful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ranging from the one who's closest, who's about 15 feet away, to about 50 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna do a firebolt to the one who's closest
Okay.
to me, please.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. 11.
Doesn't hit.
Sweet.
Yeah. Wasn't far off actually, but does not hit, unfortunately.
No, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Racy, somewhere
Okay.
between 11 and 14.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we assuming Beishra's here, or are we just, or are you just edited stuff?
I've edited, so we'll assume Beishra's not here.
Okay, that's fine. She's having a Beishra day. No
Yeah.
worries.
I would think she's tracking what we need to find.
Maybe.
It's
Sure.
been separated from
It's my
some
head
circumstance.
canon. That's fine.
Yeah.
No worries.
It is in fact their turn now.
Oh,
So I'm going to.
I was about to say they're quick, but with Skip's initiative.
I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it.
And they all kind of come running towards you.
We can run.
2 do not quite make it. So I currently have 2 on Eric,
Oh no.
1 on Skip, and 1 on Ember.
Cool.
And they make 2 attacks. That's 2 attacks. 2 attacks.
Wow.
Twa.
Ugly
Twa.
word. I hate
It's a
that.
horrible word.
17 against Ember. Sauce pal.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have got this next.
Is it a bit hyena Jason of the Argonauts?
Sure.
Okay, I'm fine.
Sure.
Like
Super
janky
claymation.
stop notion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did the skulls
I thought-
frown at all?
Yeah.
I love
No.
it.
No, not quite. It's 6 piercing as it bites onto you.
Okay.
It still has a jaw. And then it tries to hit you with its club for 14
Yeah.
for 3 bludgeoning.
Oocha.
Ouch. Skip. Skipo, River Fist,
Skipo.
Gate. 22. That did really
Yep.
good. Like, by all accounts, they're not like super strong, but apparently my dice are. They're just glad
They're
the
super
internet's
fucking
working.
strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
They're
oh,
just-
it's working. What's going
Yeah.
Your
As-
dice are just happy we're playing now.
Yeah, it's 4 piercing,
Cool.
and then he wallops you with his club. Oh!
You mother bitch.
Natural
Yeah.
20.
Natural 20! Chat,
Natural
give me
20.
Yeah.
No.
that.
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I
wait, we
deserve
don't
it
do
after
it.
that harrowing day.
Yeah.
For another 4 bludgeoning.
Only 4. No.
No.
No. Leave the natural 20.
Leave Skip alone.
And then leave Skip alone. Right, Eric,
Excuse
you
me.
get a whopping 9 to hit
Nope.
and a 14 to hit.
Nope.
Second one, 17 to hit
Nope.
and a natural 20.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course it was. Of course it was. Ugh.
For 6 bludgeoning. As he like, his club kind of gets you right at the back of the skull, you know, just behind the ear. In fact, it kind of gets your ear as well, the earlobe, and it's hard.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh,
That hurt.
bitch.
No.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
a
the
head
one I
injury.
shot at? Is that the one I shot at, or another one?
Yeah, that is indeed the one you shot at.
You die first, you bastard.
Alright, you.
Skipo Riverfist, it is now your turn.
Okay. So the one that just hurt my feelings more than anything, I'm gonna go and try and hit with my great axe. No. Oh my god. What? Barbarian Rage. That's what I'm trying to say.
Barbarian Rage, yeah, because he hit you and it really hurt.
I just said great axe twice instead of Barbarian Rage.
Great axe. No, wait, great axe.
Yeah, no,
What? I'm gonna turn into a great
No.
axe.
What?
This is when you know your actual one on a history, where you do the words, what do, name,
Well,
question mark, bees.
bees?
Um,
Well, on the plus
Yes.
side, I rolled a 25 to hit, so hopefully.
yeah. You,
If there is
you
a
get
god.
you get your barbarian rage. Now, what would you like to do?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Hit him with my great axe, please.
Okay, you kind of sound like Simba. You know when he's a cub and he's trying to roar.
I was being fearsome.
That was the cattiest.
It was
roar.
about as fearsome as Simba trying to roar.
In the bin, Emma. Get out of here.
No, we need her.
No, it's us. Roll.
Was our singing not good enough for you, Andrew? Anyway,
What?
it's when we filled the silence with singing.
Yeah.
It was 25 to hit, and I rolled, maths. 14 slashing.
Yeah, you chop it in half. Literally, you hit it and you think, oh, I'm going to thunk this right into his shoulder and show him who's, and the bones just scatter onto the
Can
floor.
I specify that because
Yeah.
my signature move is kind of collarbone down, like it'll hit a few
Yeah.
ribs and stuff,
Yeah.
so it makes the xylophone noise. It goes doot, 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 as it hits the ribs.
Yeah.
Sure. It crunches and breaks through the front part of the ribs, and then the little, the little spike
Yeah.
at the top of your axe just kind of against the back of the ribs there. Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Exactly.
Do. Funny bones. Right, okay. Excellent. Well done. That is him definitely taken care of.
Good. Goodbye.
Eric, it's your turn. You have 2 of these up on your face.
Right.
Well,
I am going to use a grit point to give myself advantage on this shot. Going to aim for the one what hit me over the head. Because he's a
the
little
one what
bitch.
hit you. Yeah.
One what hit me, ain't it?
Yeah.
So I will take a 19 to hit, please,
That definitely hits.
for 9 damage.
9
plus.
damage. Excellent. That is enough to kill him.
Woo!
Do tell me how. Do tell me how, because mostly bones.
I feel like I would, because he sort of came behind me, so I'll twist around, shove the dandelion up into that little bit, with, with the lower bit of the skull, the
Yeah.
mandible that's
Mhm.
empty.
Mandible, yeah,
through
yeah.
that, hit the roof of the skull, and then fire.
Nice.
So,
Oh.
bones
And also
everywhere.
that it kind of it
good.
explodes the top part, and then the rest of it, like the jaw and the sort of like bottom part of that top bit of the skull, just kind of do the. The top bit explodes, and the rest of it is like spinning around in its axis, and then it just kind of crumples to the ground, makes a clatter.
Huzzah!
It's
We
how
take
like
these very
physics works.
seriously here. Yeah, this is how we take things seriously at the Lore Maidens. Excellent. He is finito.
And I get my grit point back. Yay!
You do. Okay. It is their turn. The second set. So Skip, you now have 1 on you. Ember, you now have 2. Eric, you still have the 1.
Was I not before them? It was not Eric, me, then
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I went straight to them.
It's okay. Just forget about me.
My B.
She's just
Right.
enjoying killing us so
I
much.
know. She's gonna roll like 12 more
Killing you.
20s.
Yeah.
Great.
Clearly, they're just absolute bags of hit points. Ember, off you go.
Okay, I'm going to use my staff with the ring with necrotic charge.
Okay.
Not
Do you like how I
neurotic.
paused there? Yeah, no, neurotic. I was like, okay.
You're neurotic. Mm-hmm.
For 14 to hit.
That hits.
Yes. For 20
sweet.
damage. On the one that I was trying to fight earlier, yeah.
That kills it.
Woo.
Yay!
Wait.
Yep. He's gone.
Yep.
Sucker gone. Right. Excellent.
I'd like
Good
to think
stuff.
that I hit it and he just like falls into pieces. Like it like crumbles.
You literally, because it's like this gnarled wooden hand on the top, you just sort of like slap it on the top of the head, and it just crunches the bones down
Yeah.
into themselves.
Yeah, I like it.
That's
I like
great.
it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It is their turn. You each have one on you now.
Okay.
So Ember, natural 1 for his bite, and it's better. So it's a 20, but not natural.
Yeah.
Or
Obviously.
5 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Boop, skip. Another natural 20. What the fuck?
Did you buy weighted dice?
Yeah,
No.
definitely.
It's the really pretty ones that I got at Dragon Mate. They're doing
The
me
really
right.
pretty weighted ones.
Yes.
That's like.
It was only a 1 that I rolled, so that's a 4 piercing damage.
Thankfully, it's just a 2 because of my barbarianness.
Yeah. The second hit is a 9, so that's not gonna work. Against Eric, it's a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, it hits.
For
Nice.
his bite, and that's a 4 piercing as he bites. He just kind of gets you right, like at the
Don't like it.
like the elbow, the soft part of the elbow, kind of goes through
Oh.
your armor. Yeah, it goes
Bitch.
through your armor.
Must
Yeah.
have been
Right.
pretty low for that. Like.
Yeah, and then his blood is bludgeon. I mean, it's a club. It's basically a bludgeon. It was only a 2 that he rolled, so that misses. He's too busy
Nah.
like biting you to like have any coordination with his hand. Right, Skipo.
Skeeple. Okay, so at this point, I see that, we're kind of blasting through them. They are hitting us, but it's going quite well, so I'm just like, this might be fun, actually. So I'm gonna try and, like, hit this one, and make his head go flying off. That's my plan. I'm gonna try and decapitate it. It's basically like a baseball bat.
You're gonna punt it, yeah.
Yeah.
Fastball
I
special.
punt it.
Pretty much.
Okay,
20, not natural to hit.
that hits.
Woo. Oh. There's a slight slope going on here, and I'm using this rolly dice. And it was a 16 slashing.
Nice, you kill it.
Well, Ken is the flat side. Ken.
Yeah.
I just said Ken.
Yeah. So
I
you
just said
the
Ken.
flat of your
Ew.
blade-
Who is she?
Good lord.
Like, and not even like in an ironic, I'm putting on a Scots kind of way. Like, you just said Ken. No,
It's the
I do not
flat
accept
side.
that. Yeah.
Ken is the
Flat
flat
side.
side of the fucking hell.
And you actually
Who
see
is
it's
she?
kind of like it goes flying up into the air and up through the trees
Mhm.
and up through the sky, and because it's white, it just kind of vanishes into the sky. And,
And
you're
then
not
like a little
entirely sure where
rocket
it
comes
went.
out the back of it and it shoots off into the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
Two
poor little
rockets
gnomes
blasting
out.
off again.
Yeah, there's some little gnomes plowing a field somewhere that's just suddenly gonna have this like gnarled skull.
It just
Boom.
like
It just
meanwhile cuts
from
to
nowhere. Flying in from space. Okay. He has been eradicated. Now, we're back up to the top. Before we go for Eric, can I get a quick perception from everyone?
You may.
No. Can't. That was no.
Thank you.
What?
Right, Ember, what'd you get?
15.
Eric, what'd you get?
7.
Hey,
Woo.
7!
So that,
And
I did think about it.
17.
17, okay. The others are aware that it's kind of heat of the battle. There's stuff going on. You've probably, even though you're in your own fights, probably heard the thunk and just kind of look as you hear this. You know that sound that a hollow skull would make while it's like whirling through the air.
No,
It
tell
goes.
me more.
Tell me
It's
more.
kinda-
Tell me more.
You know the sound. Hopefully you know this. In the film Hook, when he finally realizes he's Peter Pan and he stands on the table with a sword and he cuts the coconut in half,
Yes.
and you get that whirling noise of the coconut
Okay,
on the
okay,
table.
okay,
That
okay.
noise.
Bangarang.
You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Bangarang. Bangarang Peter. Right. It's like one of my favorite movies.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yes,
I can hear it now. I can hear it. Coconut spinning.
You're in that space. We're method acting in the zone.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of distracted. Skip, however, who just did that, you're kind of like, "Hey, did you see that?" And you can see off in the distance ahead of you, emerging. The whole area is fairly dark, so you didn't realize the empty void of color and light that was ahead of you, about 60 feet, 70 feet away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But as you see skeletal figures emerge, you realize there is indeed another tear directly
Oh,
ahead
for
of you.
fuck's sake.
Two more have emerged and are starting to make their way towards you.
Did I perceive that they were coming out of the tear?
Yeah, because you
Oh.
can see the white coming out from the stark white of the bones coming out
Okay.
from that void of
black.
color of the
Yeah, yeah.
blackness. Yeah. So you weren't aware because it was kind of blending in with the fact that the area is dark.
Okay. Shit.
They go in there, so I guess they all kind of go together. Okay. Excellent. So we are with Eric now.
Well, shot number 3 from Dandelion. Let's
Mhm.
go for the strenum.
Okay.
I like that word.
For the what? Sorry.
Sternum? Do you mean sternum?
Sternum.
I thought you said strenema.
He said sternum.
Well, it didn't fucking hit anyway, so never mind.
Because I mocked you. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That was only a... What was that? 9 to hit.
No, not
No.
quite.
That's really
No.
I mean, it's not like wildly under, but unfortunately not.
It might have been a kill as well. Because I would have got 13 damage.
Yep. Okay.
Damn it, Dandelion!
You kind of shoot past it, and what it does is it kind of that slow mo we're in the Matrix
Bullet
Right
time.
through the
goes
strenema.
through the rib cage. Yeah, right.
Sternum.
Just under the strenuma. Goes through the ribs.
Note to
And
self.
it hits into a tree.
Strenema.
Strenuma. Yeah. Hits into
like
a
It's
tree.
not as good as Irvin Gerd.
Shut up,
I know.
Andrew.
So I'm trying to
Let me
bring
do my
out.
description. It smacks its way into a tree, and it's a fairly young tree. And you just see, like it just shatters into wood chippings.
Oh, did I murder? I murdered a young tree.
Oh
You
god.
murdered a
certainly taken
sapling.
a
Ent.
chunk out of it. Yeah. Excellent. Ember.
It's gotta come back to bite us.
Mm.
In a minute when it falls on you. Sorry.
It's okay. Because the first one was successful, I'm just going to do the same again to this one in front of me. Did I see the things that were coming as well?
Not you're aware that something happened. You would have heard the sound, but not seen the vision. Okay.
That was a solid 7. So,
7.
7.
7. No, it does not hit.
Okay.
Spell.
Okay.
Okay. It is now the turn of those that emerged. With the movement when they initially came out, they managed to make their way up. I'm going to say one against Skip and one against Ember. As y'all are the closest. So they're going to get a wee hit in.
Fantastic.
Oh, a 3 against Ember. That's not going to do it.
Oh, thank God.
And a 10. So 14?
Yeah, it's me. Oh, Ember.
No, it's me. Yeah, it's 2 hits. So yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Shut up. Anne.
For 4 bludgeon as it smacks you with its club. Just kind of on the arm. It hurts, but you know. And then Skipo.
Yeah.
That's a 5. That's not gonna.
No.
18 will, however,
Yeah, sure will.
for a whopping 3 bludgeoning, half to 1.
Right in my sternuma.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, right. It kind of it like wins you for a second. Doesn't get do any damage, but it wins you.
I'll let it go
Wins you.
soon, honest. I will.
Yeah.
Not yet.
She won't. She absolutely won't.
We've got a while to go.
I know. Okay, that is their turn. Then it's the other 2. So there's just 1 against Ember, 1 against Eric at this stage. 16 against Eric. It's not gonna
Nah.
do it. Ember. It's a 2. So 6 isn't gonna do it.
Absolute terror.
So they do rubbish,
Mhm.
and now it is Skip's turn.
Cool. As I always do, I'm gonna try and hit it with my great axe, please. The one what hit me that time,
Let's repeat.
just now
Yeah.
in the sternuma.
Yeah.
21 to hit.
It hits.
It's not even that funny. It's great. Oh, wah. Okay. Only 9 damage slashing.
It doesn't kill it.
I'm
It's like a
sorry, what?
first.
Yep. Not a one-shot kill.
Like, oh.
Hey.
Oh, it hurts.
Right.
It stings.
Painful. Excellente. Right, we are back up to Eric.
Right. Gonna use my grip point to give myself advantage on this one. Aiming for the strenema. Yes! Natural 20!
Right in the sternum. Shit, the bed.
4.
Yep.
24 damage.
Literally double its health.
Holy hell, boy.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Describe this one for me. I'll let you do the full description because they're skeletons. It's fun.
Right, this one I'm super pissed off with it, so I'm gonna kick it in the shin first. With a bit of rage to make it stumble, and then not only am I because this is the last shot in Dandelion, so we will fire into the left eye socket, blowing out the back of the skull, and then because it's a Yoldi pistol type thing with the large bulb, he's going to pistol whip it, the rest of it as it falls, and spit on what's left.
Eric.
Hurt you?
And
Who hurt you, Eric?
I use my many people. I'll use my bonus action to give myself a second one. So 1d10 plus my level hit points back.
Yes. Okay.
For...
Excellent. Well done.
Sweet.
And he is suitably smooshed.
Oh, I'm back to full health. Exactly. That was perfect.
Whee. Okay. Bloop bloop bloop. Ember.
And I get my grip point back.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna do the same again. Use my last necrotic.
So I'm laughing at your
Charge.
camera. It froze there and it looked
Oh,
like you had
mine.
3
Yeah, no, I
arms.
keep seeing that. It's great, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do the one in front of me. I'm gonna try hit it even. Yes, for 19.
That hits.
Which is 8, 11, 12 damage.
Beast. You kill it.
Sweet. Do I have any more in front of me? Yes, I do. I have the other one. And I'm also going to use for a bonus action, gonna heal myself with using my hex points. So it's 1d6 plus 3 because I have more hex points. Well, yeah. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Cool. So 6, 7 back.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Burp. It is their turn. There's one against Skipo, one against Ember. Oops. 14 against Skipo.
Yeah, it hits me.
Oop. For 4. Half to 2.
Thank you,
And then
please.
the bludgeon rolls a 1, so he doesn't. He manages to get in a bite, and again, no, this is the 2 against Skip. So he bites in, and then is like trying to hit you with the club and kind of missing. Yeah.
Okay.
You rolled a natural 1. You're like, no!
No biting!
No, ew.
No.
No way.
Boop the snoot.
Bad wear.
Into another field.
Yeah. Ember, that's an 11.
No.
And a 9, so that's not. Yeah, these don't do good. Okay.
I like these guys.
Skip. Skipo.
Skipo is appalled at this thing trying to bite him because personal space.
Did bite you, didn't he?
I know. He did. He
Succeeded.
did.
Yeah,
He did succeed. Very much. In my bubble. Get out here.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go and hit it with a bat.
You're at me.
Hit it with a bax. I said. Why can't I say axe or anything tonight?
Except when you're trying to say something else. You keep saying great X.
Yeah.
23 to hit.
Yes, that hit.
14 slashing.
Excellent. You only had the 2 left.
Good.
So
Good.
Hey.
he
Want to go for the
successfully
like the spine and just hope everything just like falls.
Yeah, it does. It just
Cool.
clatters,
Jenga's
making that
down.
satisfying
Jenga's
bone
down.
Jenga.
Mm-hmm.
Jenga. Right, excellent. Back up to Eric. There's one
Uh,
left in the battlefield.
Right. Marigold's up.
Mm.
So I'll stride forward a little bit. Using a grit point this time because I'm liking this grit point carousel. Yep. Aiming for him.
Aiming for
That-
the tree?
That is what is that? Maths. 19 to hit, please.
That hits.
For 8 damage, please.
Okay. Doesn't quite fell it, but does
Alas.
a decent amount of damage.
Mhm.
Wunderbar. Ember. It is the one that is in front of you.
Yes. I'm enjoying wheeling all these guys, and I'm seeing how amazing Skip's doing and how amazing Eric's doing. I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm just gonna use it my normal staff, obviously, because I can't
Okay.
do it otherwise. Which is this one. For 12,
Means to be.
Yay!
Nice.
and that is a 5 damage, please. Thank you.
That is enough to kill him.
Woo! Yeah.
Describe it.
Oh, I'm like, I'm actually getting I'm finding it quite fun this time, just seeing how well everyone else is doing, like I said. And this time I'd like to because before I hit them down, I'd like to kind of swing it round and kind of go in between the legs and hit it up, so it kind of
Nice.
upwards
You're
instead.
slapping at the balls.
It's an outward explosion of
Yeah,
balls.
yeah.
Got you in the bone D. Okay,
I love
Yeah.
it.
so
I love it.
you have
Good.
felled these animated gnolls. So with them down, you see that as well as their own corpses, there appears to be a few more that are littering this area, and what only Skip is aware of currently, the fact that there appears to be a dark area towards the back of this hollow.
I point it out to the other guys.
Oh, hell
Hey,
no.
guess what I can see?
Ooh, you
But in a more
them good
serious
eyes.
tone.
Eric doesn't actually say anything, he just reloads the guns. Readies them
I
again.
have a question, DM. When we fought the guy who may or may not have been called Janosh Poe, I've forgotten what the deal with who
Yeah.
it was.
Janosh, go on.
Did we know that he came out of a tear, or was it just assumed?
If you guys made that assumption, he was a shadow demon rather than
A bat thing?
undead, but yeah.
I would like
Um,
to...
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just chain of thought thing. Go for it.
I would like to move closer to this because I didn't properly investigate this last time. I just kind of got it from what you guys all said, and I was there, but I didn't properly look at it.
I'll just say to the group real quick, don't go too close, because when I approached the last one, it just enveloped and disappeared. So if you're gonna look at it, kind of do it from a little bit of a distance. Also for safety.
Eric's gonna be. He doesn't like them, so while she's investigating, he'll fall behind, but stay behind watching with guns ready to keep her to watch her back.
Yeah.
I would like to go with Amber, but I'd also like to say to Eric, is Beishra here? No, maybe. Whatever.
She'll be. Yeah, she's around.
I would like to get Beishra to kind of keep an eye out for anything approaching, and Eric can assist with that.
Okay. You do so. Amber, how do you want to inspect it as you approach?
I would actually like to make a potion and make myself invisible and see how close I can get to this and see if it can sense me being there, or if it's and see if it can see me, and if it will go away if I'm invisible, or
For science.
for science. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you make yourself invisible.
I would like to go also, but I'll kind of hang back and let her go nearer because she's invisible.
Okay.
I just want to see.
And that's
I
a
don't
good
know
plan.
what it is, and whether I can see. I know it's like darkness and stuff, but I want to see if I can see anything inside it. I guess like that's what she would do if I get closer, or if there's actually any way. I saw things coming out. I'm like, well, can stuff go in it? I'm not gonna try to go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tie rope
As you
around you.
approach, yeah. So you make yourself invisible, and start to approach. As you do so, you feel what the others described, because you're yet to really get close enough to feel this, and you just get this sense, more so when you first came into the woods. When you first came in, you had that sort of tingle down your spine. You were aware there was something up and that it was cold. Now you're feeling right in the pit of your stomach. This dread starts to form as you get closer, and it's nauseating almost. And it feels thick, like it's thick in the back of your throat as you approach. As you do so, you notice that the closer your steps get, you do see it starting to flicker and respond to something getting closer to it. Hasn't fully gone away yet, but as you approach, you do notice this happening. Can you do a perception check for me?
Yes, I can try.
Can you guys hear the music, by the way?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
I got a 16.
Okay. You can see towards the bottom of it, and you're not sure if this correlates with what you saw in the others, because you were never that close to the other two that you've encountered face to face. But you can see that it's almost as if one of these undead gnolls tried to come through at some point and didn't quite fully make it, and is on the ground, sort of like half in, half out currently. And pooling around the body, the tear itself has a shadowy essence to it. It doesn't fully emit smoke necessarily, but around the body, there's just these sort of like lapping fingers of shadow just moving across the point of contact on this body.
It's so tense.
Oh my god, no!
Your internet's playing up.
Around on top of the body.
Okay, you got to the part where the fingers, like,
Oh,
goes
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I know it's fine. Around the body, and then
the fingers, they're writhing
Okay.
around on the
Yeah.
body, and you can see that on the point of contact where the body is.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Okay. Is there any check I can do that I can kind of, like, have I seen this before, or do I know what kind of magic this is?
You can do an Arcana check.
Okay. 12.
Okay. You've not really come across this kind of magic. Having learnt a lot of what you have from the swamplands, you've encountered darker magics, not necessarily evil, but you're aware that it exists. So you don't recall anything from your past that would give you more information about it that you already have. However, there's something about the part that is in contact with this body that is half in, half out, that seems more tangible than that which is actually creating the tear. So it's less void of color and light, this sort of like dark shadow, and more something almost physical on top of this body currently.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Okay. Okay.
Can I? No, she's still invisible, right?
She's invisible currently, yeah.
So I can't
I mean,
see where
you can, yeah, you kind of see where she is. You're aware that the tear is there, but
yeah.
if you're standing there long enough, you can probably see as well that there's this body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the body moving, or is it just
No,
no?
it's unmoving.
So I feel like if I get any, this is just me thinking out loud. I know you guys can't actually help me, but I feel like if I get any closer, from what I see, it's flickering. From what I saw, like from Skip getting closer. But I really want to see what's happening. Help!
Decision, girl. Do it.
But maybe I'm like, do I try?
I mean, you're invisible, but you're not certain
So
that this
sensual.
tear is, you know, it's
Aware.
an audible
Okay.
thing. Yeah. So if you were to speak, it's not necessarily gonna.
Can I try like stealthily move closer to it?
Okay, roll stealth.
Come on, baby.
Big money's no whammy.
Okay, 13.
Okay. You start to move closer, and as far as you're aware, you are being quiet. It's enough that with Skip not necessarily knowing where you are and what your passive perception is, Skip, you're not fully aware that she's there. She is stealthing enough that you're kind of.
I'm mostly there in case something comes out and attacks her.
Yeah,
That's basically why I'm there.
Yeah. So you're stealthy enough for that. As you approach, it may hesitate a bit. You've not seen the speed at which these things close, but what you see is the tear starts to move again and flicker, and it starts to close up, and is almost all the way there. And there's like this trail, this residue currently on the body. The tear is pretty much closed as you get close enough to really see what's going on, and you reckon you have like split seconds to make a decision with what to do with the residue that's currently on the body, or it's going to get sucked up into the tear.
I immediately touch it with my hand or try to grab some.
Okay.
Yes.
So you reach out and try to grab some in your hand.
Just
It
sheer panic.
does mostly kind of come away. It's a strange feeling. It's like, this is going to be strange, so I don't know if you're going to be able to visit it. It's kind of like you were trying to grasp quite liquidy jelly, like a custard almost, but it's smoke. So it feels like there's a texture to it, but it's lighter than air. So you grab it, you have some in your hand. It's trying to move back into the shit. It's following this really thin line that's sort of like connecting it to this tear as it's closing, and it's stuttering to try and close as the stuff is currently in your hand. What do you want to do with it?
I don't have any.
You maybe.
I immediately turn around my body to the back of the tear, and I'm trying to hold whatever the fuck this thing stuff is.
Okay, so you're pulling at it. You've still got some. It's trying its best to move its way out of your hand currently, but as you pull, it does make this line thinner between it and the tear. And you can feel this resistance. It's giving you, holding on to it is like chilling you to the bone. Not chilling the way that the snow and the cold does. It's something that goes straight to your core and isn't affecting the skin. It just feels horrendous holding it. It's like holding the absolute quintessential essence of death in your hand.
So is it dissipating at all? Like as I'm moving away,
it's kind of, you're holding on to it enough that you are keeping a hold of it. There's still this tether between it and the tear. You can start to hear a strange noise from the tear as it's trying its best to close, and you're currently like holding on.
Shit.
I'll give you one more action to try and think of something to do with this before it completely loses itself in your grasp.
I would like to try and break the attachment, and by like producing a flame, and trying like burning it separate. I don't really know what else to do, so
okay. So you start to cast your produce flame like almost over your shoulder because you've turned around, so you have this tether going up over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You try to produce flame, and it creates a strange kind of reaction. It's a smell almost like burnt hair. The action makes you visible, so Skip can just see you on the ground, currently holding on to something, being like, ah! Producing a flame over your shoulder towards this thing. you can see, Skip, that the tear is trying desperately to close, and she's just holding on to this thing. It looks like it's not going to last much longer.
Can I run over and try and assist?
Sure.
It's gonna fuck off though, isn't it? No, fuck it. I can see that she's panicking, so Skip would run over and try and help.
Yeah. Do you have anything that might contain it?
It's funny you should ask, kind DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I didn't know what else to do. Sorry.
The only thing I have that would contain it is my ridiculous tube that makes things taste of blue raspberry.
As I thought. Yeah. Oh god.
Can I try and scoop it up in that?
You can. Sure. Yeah.
Can I try and take whatever it is off of Ember first? Can I take it out of her hands or whatever?
Well, you can.
Okay. I don't know.
She's already burning one side of it and holding it tightly in her hand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to coordinate with each other if you want to do something.
Okay. Fucking hell. So it's what about the bag of holding? Can you not
I'm not letting it loose in the bag of holding.
But then it'll hold it, and we can take it to the whisper thing.
Yeah, we need to put it in something into the bag of holding.
Just scoop it up into the bag of holding.
Okay, I'll try and flap the bag of holding around it.
Okay.
Drawstring it tight.
Alright. So I'd say between the produce flame, which seems to be causing this strange reaction, the smell of burnt hair, and tugging at it and trying to get in the bag of holding, there's this weird wrestling for what wants to exist, because within the bag of holding it's little pocket dimensions. So you do have this strange it's a strange moment. The two of you feel like you're just practically vibrating with it. It's like you're standing too close to a speaker at a really noisy metal concert, but there's no sound. And eventually you your hand releases a bit and you look back and you can't see anything. The tear has gone, and as far as you know, Skip, you seem to have some of it perhaps inside the bag of holding.
I feel like we should have put it in a container.
Then would have.
Ember, are you okay? Skip asked. What happened? What was that? Question mark.
I decided to get closer to it because I saw one of those skeleton things in the corner being held, and I saw something that was actually holding on to it. And my immediate reaction was to try and grab it, to try and help with her finding out
super
what this
dangerous. I reprimand you.
Sorry, boss. Sorry.
Well done, though. But also super dangerous.
It was fighting really hard. And it seemed, from what I could see, it was struggling to close.
I fucking knew that, Hummely. Sorry.
Nothing. So you seem to have successfully gained that the tear has closed now, and although the immediate sense of death and danger has somewhat parted, there's still that hanging in the air that these closing tears have caused before. You've witnessed it twice. It doesn't quite go away immediately.
I feel like we're all quite shaken by that feeling and would benefit from a strong drink.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly.
Many strong drinks.
Yeah, Eric, you might need to hook us up. When we're off duty, though, of course, because we're working. I'm professional.
No, immediately. He says, popping out his flask.
We do also still have this problem of how the fuck, if it's even in the bag of holding, do we get out of the bag of holding without it escaping and disappearing? However, here we are.
Should we take it to Marbeth?
That might be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go and reunite with the rest of Eric.
Yeah.
And Fisher and
For
stuff.
now, you seem to be done, and it is clear that something, especially with the skill, because this was pretty big as the tears go, and the fact that either it was turning the gnolls into this, or it was spewing forth these skeletal replicas of what was living here initially. Whichever of the two things, definitely unpleasant, and it seems that with the tear closed, there's a chance that that might have stopped now. So you do put yourselves together and start to make your way back towards the town.
One last question.
Yeah.
Was the ground like covered in that black stuff like the first time?
Kind of, yeah, because the hollow itself seemed dark anyway. It was in a slightly denser part of the woodland.
Okay.
But there was this kind of essence of decay in the plant life that was around it. Not to the extent that you've seen in others, so you wouldn't be able to correlate. Yeah, no. Correlate. Jesus, words.
What is happening today?
I said it like 3 times. I know. Correlate.
Great axe.
Whether the size of because this was a bigger tear, but there was less decay in the trees and the land around it. Whereas the first tear that you found, although it may not have been the biggest of tears, there seemed to be the most decay. So it's hard to tell at the moment.
With that one, the first one, I was picturing like the gross kind of vine stuff in like War of the Worlds. That's what I was picturing, but like black everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, so you make your way back to Calford, a place of comfort. I know, I can see.
Sorry.
LOL.
It's like
Tesla.
a fucking Arston level joke there.
I know,
Tesla.
yeah.
Thank you for that.
So yes, you make your way back. It feels like home comforts, and you are aware that this may well be the last time you see Calford for quite some time.
Got to go get a coffee. Hard coffee shop. Say bye.
Damn.
Okay.
We did well, guys, but
Damn.
shit's getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do now that you're in town before you head off?
Well,
We need to speak to Margaret about this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. Go on.
Yeah. So Eric needs to make bullets. We need to expand the armory, get back up to full capacity.
Less janky.
So, less janky, more Daka.
Yeah. It's around afternoon, so if your plans are to head off on the morrow, I would say Eric has roughly 6 hours till bedtime, so it's up to you what you want to do with those 6 hours. If you want to do 3 batches for the 20 bullets, or less than that and do something else, that is your call.
I think Eric's just going to make bullets. He's got to get ready. And I think he wants some alone time to process what's been happening. Because he's old, he's seen many a thing, but this ain't right.
He hasn't seen this before, no.
Something new.
Something unwelcome.
Yep. Skip and Ember, what you doing?
First things first, I'm going to go and speak to Elgar more, whose name I remembered that time.
Yeah. You find him easy enough. He is, as ever, kicking around the Evangard post here in Calford. He welcomes you back with a half smile, which is a lot for him.
Okay.
He's usually quite a stoic person, so
I see that, and I reciprocate with the biggest smile he's ever seen. Where's my voice going? Excuse me.
So he gives you a nod of respect. How did you get on?
We found another tear. I mean, we dealt with the gnolls and stuff, but to be completely frank with you, shit hit the fan real bad, real quick.
Right.
Was
it just the gnolls being affected?
I mean, sort of. It appeared there were skeleton gnollish things that came out of this tear that we found, but it seemed that that's what they were fleeing from, and that's why they left.
You can hear from like the background. There's probably like 2 guys who just hang around. There may be someone else's supervisory officers, but they're a bit more jovial and Jack the Laddish than Elgar is. He's quite stoic. He's all business. And one of them just goes, "It's called a witherling." And Elgar just kind of like rolls his eyes, like, yep, okay,
Well, that then.
yeah. Okay, well, it certainly seems to be a more serious problem than first anticipated. I am glad it has been resolved, at least. It was resolved, I hope.
The tear was closed. We did manage to get a sample of something from it.
His frown deepens.
Yes, his face inverts. We're gonna go and speak to Marbeth and see what his opinion on it is, and see if there's a safe way to contain it. Because it's safe at the moment. Maybe?
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. Well, hopefully that gets resolved and that his contacts are able to come through with useful information.
Yeah, I hope so too. Skip is a very like, he always tries to see the best in situations. He's very not me. But even this is like shaking him to his core. He's like being completely serious about it. So
yeah,
it's very out of character.
Yeah. So he just gives you a nod and says, when do you plan on traveling?
Soon. Sooner the better. It's 2 weeks by horse. We need to get there now. Because if there's... I mean, we had one town in Calford, for God's sake, man.
It was a little too close to home, quite literally for me.
Yeah, exactly. Your sister, indeed.
Well, I recommend you setting off tomorrow. You will be provisioned, of course. You can take what you need from our stores. I don't know how long this is going to take you away from Calford, but you know you're always a member of this team, even when you're not actively working for us, and any Ebon guards you meet in your travels along the way, they will be able to give you safe lodgings if you need it.
That's good to know, thank you. Like in any other situation, Skip would be beaming with pride and just be like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. But...
yeah.
But yeah, no, he's like, I need to go.
Yeah, he nods and just says, I wish you good fortune on what it is you find, and that you can solve this mystery of yours.
Cool.
You're a good supervisor, Skip.
That one, no, he blushes.
Yeah.
He can't keep it in. He blushes.
Yeah.
And
I hope you return to us soon.
Thanks, buddy. And
he just kind of gives you like a.
It's like, it was so close. Damn it. So I'll get.
I like to think he's got like the looks of Idris Elba, but like the personification of Oded Fehr's character in the first Mummy. You know, like super stoic and takes everything seriously.
Oh my god, what babe! Yes.
Yeah. Purge the two, fantastic. Totally.
Done.
So yeah, he gives you a nod and kind of, because it's quite a. I mean, it's not touchy-feely necessarily, but it's emotional enough that he starts to feel uncomfortable because he doesn't like emotional things.
Yeah.
So he's just like,
yeah,
come say goodbye before you go, and then just like leave.
That's fair. Before that, I like to think that Skip he was kind of edging his way out of the room slowly before he left and like fell over a chair or something.
Yeah. And he assumes Elgar was out the room before it happened. He's gonna tell himself that.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go off to find the others. Eric, you're.
He's
workshopping?
in his. He's in the Avantgarde. Can you make the first of your 3 tinker rolls?
Right, guys, let's pray for no more Yankees. Oh, fuck. I almost was. It was over the one and then it just tilted.
Oh, dear.
Where's my things again? I've completely blanked. It's Dex for Tinkerer's Tools, I think.
Yeah,
So
plus your proficiency.
So a grand total of 15, please.
15. Okay. You make a very successful batch of 20 bullets.
Thank God.
Congrats.
Yay!
Ember, what you doing in this time?
Going to the coffee shop and getting a hot chocolate
Okay.
and catching up with my girl.
Yeah, so you have a little bonding session with Calliope. She's like, I can't
Calliope.
believe you guys are leaving.
I know.
You're
I
my
can't believe-
favorite.
You're my favorite. You're the best hot chocolate maker ever.
Oh. You'll need to tell me if you see anyone on your travels that does hot chocolates as good as mine, and I'll kill them. No, I'm kidding.
That won't be possible because there won't be.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, you'll have to hang on a moment. And she goes trotting off to the back, and she's away for a little while, and you can hear some little like clanking and tapping and all that kind of stuff going on through the back while you drink your hot chocolate. Kind of feeling slightly smug that you're the one that she's chatting to instead that you're leaving when there's other customers.
Yeah.
There. You're like, I'm better than you. She likes me best. Eventually,
Right.
she comes back, and she has basically ye olde Tupperware box.
Airtight Tupperware.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She says these have lovely oaty chocolatey bites in them. It's kind of like a tray bake, but it's very long lasting. It'll last you for at least a week. And even then, like, it might be a little stale, but it'll still be good for your travels so that you don't miss me too much.
Oh my god. I'll have to ration these with Beisha, but thank you so much. This is so kind of you. I love them.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
Anything for my
Tell Beishra.
faves.
How's it going?
Yeah, I know. I'd be polite to her, but I'm not gonna. She's not here. She doesn't know.
We won't tell her. It's fine.
Yeah.
Needless to say, a delightful time is had, and you just kind of catch up on the gossip. She's quite good for just like that low-key regular person gossip, not necessarily going in the tavern. What's the news around town? Well, there's this plot quest going on. If you maybe go on map updated, you know.
Yeah.
This is just regular. So and so has been seeing so and so and all this kind of stuff. And this new guy in town is super dreamy. There's a lot of that going on.
Oh.
Skip, what were you wanting to do?
I mean, I probably would have gone to the coffee shop because I wanted to see if Ember was okay after the scary tear thing. But
You're welcome to have a moment with her in the coffee shop if you wish right now.
not really. Not really. No. I think I would probably just go and try and chill by myself for a little bit, which is kind of out of character for him, but he's super proud of what Algar just said to him, for one thing.
Yeah.
But he's also, like, the sense of duty is kind of just hitting him a little bit. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think
it's quite a lot.
it's a lot to consider that these tears is kind of the first time that you and this group, which are now becoming like friends, you guys have been together for around about a year now, working in a cell.
Mm-hmm.
And although you just felt like a unit within the Ebengard, it feels like so much more now.
Mm-hmm.
And this tear business and going off to investigate that is something all of your own. It's not something that has been given to you by the Evangard. And there's probably a bit of conflict going on between that. Like, you feel like you should just be business as usualing it, but this feels bigger than that. And the fact that you're being given the go-ahead and the blessing from Elgar, and that he
thinks it's important enough. Yeah,
absolutely. And that he's kind of
that's
something about
that's
the way
where
that
I
he said
think
it felt.
Skip's at the moment. He's
Yeah,
kind of
not final necessarily, but it's definitely like a closing moment on your current work with the Evangard. You're technically always going to still be part of them, but you're not actively that right now, which is it's a weird shift for him. Excellent. Eric, can I get another roll from you? Janky bullets, janky bullets.
Is it janky or is it no?
It's no janky.
It's no janky. It's 15.
Nice, excellent. Another 15. So that is another successful batch of 20 bullets you've managed to make.
Yay!
That made me think of it's not heavy, it's my brother. Well, no janky, it's a 15.
Mixed with the Crankies.
Well,
Okay. Excellent. So, Ember, eventually you would make your way back to the Evangard. You guys are all kind of collectively in the same area. You're aware that Eric is there, although he seems to be busy right now.
Okay. So obviously we're gonna need like food and stuff for our travels.
Mhm.
So, and anything else that the Evangard said that we could have. I wouldn't mind going to pick stuff up and collecting them.
Yep. You have traveled relative distances, never this far, but you've traveled some distances on jobs before, and they tend to provide a certain amount, not like like a year's supply of rations,
Yeah.
but they have storerooms where you can stock up to. I mean, you'll start with your average explorer pack of 10, and then you can choose to carry more with you if you wish. Generally what you would get from their storerooms, as well as if you wanted a cloak, if you were, like weather appropriate outer gear, perhaps, and also those who use arrows would stock up on arrows, that kind of thing.
Okay. That's about it for me. I'm kind of like Skip. Like I went to the coffee shop trying to like cheer me up a bit, and I was like, okay, I've done my socializing. I think it is time for me to just like chill out and kind of be okay with what happened. I feel a little bit funky from it.
You're probably doing that, because maybe your bunk beds are near each other, so your bed, and just occasionally you'll have a little news about something, but mostly you're just in that companionable silence. So that was a lot.
One thing that Skip would absolutely need to do is decide on his wardrobe and what he's taking with him. And putting, I hate to say it, but I'm going to put my plumed hat into storage because I'm afraid it'll get damaged.
Okay.
I'll pick up more hats on the way. It's okay.
There are always more hats on the road.
Yeah, I will, however, maybe... I'll take my Yule Dude hat because I think it'll keep my face warm. Even though I'm kind of resistant to cold. But yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah. And it gives you a willy beard.
I absolutely thought you said Willy and I giggled like a little child.
A willy beard.
A willy beard.
A willy beard.
Yes.
That's what your pubes are.
Such a child.
And the emotion is ruined.
I ruined it.
Yeah. Okay. So while you guys are sorting out your items and what it is you're taking with you and stocking up and what have you, just getting packed, the night before the holiday. Eric, can you roll me your last?
The final round of is it janky or is it no? Oh, it's definitely no. That'll be 22, please.
Oh, these are really nicely made bullets. I'll say that you had some molten metal left over, so I'm gonna say you actually make a batch of 25.
Oh,
for the roll like that.
Oh dear. Just for, did you see what Bedlam said? It was,
yeah.
I'll take my merkin with me. Fucking lol. Can you imagine? Skip would have a merkin. Anyway, stop this.
Yeah.
Stop this.
He'd need one. Anyway, so you guys have done your various bits and pieces needed to do in preparation for big travel, and make your way to bed for the night. You are mostly restful, but I think for various reasons it takes a while to get to sleep. You still manage your long rest for sure, but it's one of those things where it takes a little while to get to sleep, and then you wake up quite early and just get up. You just want to get going and kind of have that travel nerves, I guess. Yep. You're all ready.
I make sure to go around and like Skip, he wants to hug everyone there, but he's just gonna firmly shake their hand. Like,
okay,
you take care, guys.
Yeah. Brusque handshake. Which they all have to act like they're definitely strong enough to like handle a brusque handshake from a Goliath.
Yeah, like when he goes to speak to Elgar, he like just like a farewell, like see ya. He like shakes his hand and pats him firmly on the back, like a little bit too hard.
Yeah. He kind of returns it. He gives you a little.
It's up there with an Eric smile for emotion.
And he gives you yeah, I know, right? He has like a little moment, and then he looks over at the others. I wish you luck with this, and I look forward to seeing you return.
Look forward to returning. I'm not crying.
I'll miss you, Elga.
I'll think of you often. Goodbye.
He says, do consider if ever you're in a spot of trouble or need resources or just somewhere safe for the night, find a settlement and look for the branch of the Avant-Garde there.
Yes, thank you, we will.
And he does another. We just kind of like pats his. Well.
See ya.
He's just like,
fuck off.
We dragged this out. Mm-hmm.
Gonna go. He likes goodbyes almost as little as he likes emotional moments.
Yeah.
Kind of feels uncomfortable because like he probably has quite a deal of affection for you guys. When you first came here, each of you were aware that they were hiring because there was for various reasons that some of you may not actually know, there wasn't really an Avant-Garde left here for a while, and they decided to rebuild it and make it a stronger base and employ more people. So you were probably one of his first teams as a supervisory officer, so he's kind of, yeah. I
being Skip, appreciate that he looked past my piratical past and gave me a job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, to the point that he really respected you as a supervisor. So.
Yep. Oh,
see you.
Too many feels this session.
So yeah, I know. So he's like, okay, good luck.
Like walking out the door. Okay.
Yeah. What do I say? Yeah, deals with social situations almost as well as I do. Like, oh, this is emotional. Goodbye.
Awkwardness away.
We need to go get the horses, guys.
Yeah.
Don't forget the horses.
Don't forget the horses. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so you head towards the stables. You get your old faithfuls all kitted up. There's probably like one or two stable masters there that are dedicated to the Avant-Garde stretch, just to make sure that they're definitely fit and healthy, because these horses has to be as unspookable as possible, because they're potentially going to be in dangerous situations. So they're very well trained, and he makes sure that you each have like an extra pack bag thing attached to what is attached to the horse, that just has supplies for it. Yeah, it's got supplies for the horse.
Okay.
Because it's potentially going to be a fairly long trek until you get to a bit of settlement.
I'd like to swing by, not necessarily for RP reasons, I don't care, but I want to go get a coffee and a takeaway cup to go from the horse.
She probably gives you like a couple flasks to like slot into your pack so that you've got it for the rest of the day.
Thanks, Calliope. You wee
Eric's
gem.
gonna buy a couple of sausage rolls.
Okay.
For old time's sake.
Ye olde high fantasy Gregs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
eats.
yes. And also he's gonna get an apple for Daisy because he quite likes the wee horse.
Yeah.
Is she Daisy now? I thought she was Buttercup.
No, Buttercup. Yeah.
God, get your horse right.
It was the. There's just too
your
many.
flowers right.
I'm sorry.
Buttercup.
It changes every week. It's just a different flower.
Yeah, just because
that's great though, because that's very
like
fitting.
I like
orchids, daffodil,
lily, rose.
I like it. Let's do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like when soap operas hire small children, but they have to get a couple of children because they can't work the long hours, so they just look ever so slightly different.
Yes. Every session it can just be a different horse. I love it.
Just a slightly different horse, slightly different color.
Yeah.
I did that in a series I watched once. My Wife and Kids. They changed the actress from one of the children and then just went to Something's wrong with you. You look like a completely different person.
I know.
Oh,
I
that's
think
so
did they not
funny.
do a fourth wall break for in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well when his mum changed?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they just
uh,
kind of did like this whole thing.
That's funny.
Anyway, you're saddled up. You've got all your stuff. You've got hot chocolate. You've got apples for the horses, and you're off. You're aware that it's going to take roughly 2 weeks, provided there are no complications and no reason to stay over in other locations. Either of those things may make it a slightly longer journey to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. The next settlement, you kind of have a choice of where you plan to head. The first stretch of road is going to be pretty much the same, but I will ask you what you fancy now. That may well change during your travels, but you could either, in order to cross the River Dole, go to the city of Midvar, which is a fairly big city. It's not the main big massive city of Wirebridge, but it's big. It's got a keep and everything. Or the town of Loxby, which is smaller, more of a like a homesteady type place. There's a couple farms around about it, roughly the same size as Calford, maybe an ever so smidge bigger. You can go on paths that take you to one or the other, both of which will take you over the river towards the Whispering Wood. Do you have a fancy while you set off and mull this over and chat with each other, which you would fancy taking?
I would quite like to go to the big city, but let's just skip and wanting to buy
Yeah.
hats. But
We haven't been to a city yet. We've been to the town.
In fact, some of you, like Ember, has maybe never been to the city in your life.
Country mouse.
Yep.
I like it.
Been an adventure for Ember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like
They
more,
sure won't like it though.
yeah, kind of going towards the other place because I know that's what I know. I'm like, okay,
I don't mind.
yeah, the city. No, it's fine. Like I'm totally fine with the city. But Ember's like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, just, I don't know what to expect.
It's probably an even split. In fact, even I would say, depending on your views of what he did when he was pirating, Skip's maybe never really been to a major city.
No.
You've probably been to Belmont, which is close to the same size as Midvar, so it wouldn't be completely alien to you, but it's kind of like the difference between this is probably just a reference you guys are gonna get, but a difference between going to Aberdeen and going to Glasgow. Like the size difference is pretty big, and you do feel it when you're there.
Okay.
For our American viewers, it'd be like actually no, they're all giant conglomerations of
They're all
buildings that just
massive cities. Yeah, it's kind of
Maybe-
like a big city. It's like a big city in Michigan compared to a big like New York. The
like
size.
difference between Columbus and New York. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah. Massive big sprawling city. Like it's a city, but it's yeah. Anyway, those technicalities aside, you have plenty time. You have roughly a week and a half to make that decision. Probably just under that. While you head off, the way we are going to do this, it's nice to go back to old school traditional D&D things, and I have made up my own table of random encounters you might come across on the road, and I'm going to get you guys to roll to see when it happens and what happens. So we can probably get through one before the session has ended. Let's get you guys traveling.
So, please, sorry, just get real for a minute, guys. I'm so
Okay.
pleased that we're actually playing a game again and not just like playtests, because that went on for 6 years, and like plot is happening and it's great.
Felt like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Getting totes of mosh,
Adventuring.
guys. Totes of
Tally
mosh.
ho! Yes, I'll say the first 2 days go past fairly inconsequential, not too much. Usually that stretch north of Calford is light in terms of anything dramatic. You don't tend to get bandits because it's too close to the town, and they have a really decent sized base of Evangard. Like they're not foolish enough to get too close to a town that has an armed
like a base.
and wild animals, again, it's very open plainsy. It's more farmland next to a city, so while some creatures might be brave enough to do that, not many. They prefer areas where they can hunt without getting killed themselves. But after that first 2 days, you guys, I will get you to each in turn roll me a d20 and tell me if it is odds or even.
Ooh. Okay.
So, Ember, what did you get?
Odd.
Okay. And Skip.
Odd.
And Eric.
Odd, a natural one, in fact.
That feels right.
Okay. Yeah. So after the first day, it's an alright day. It's still cold. You're still definitely. It's wintry. It's not like the height of winter necessarily, but it's definitely cold. There's still a chill on that wind. It still frosts overnight, and if there is precipitation in the air, it can often snow. Can I get one of you? You can decide amongst yourselves to roll a d10 for me.
Eric, go.
Okay.
Okay, or did it?
7.
Okay. So you guys are heading along the road. It's during the day, and it's starting to get a bit more rolly hills rather than being a straight flat peninsula. It's starting to get a bit more Rohan feeling.
I went to like Heathcliff there, but okay.
Yeah. Having a moment. As you pass a stretch of woodland is calling it a bit much. It's that kind of like sparse stretch of wooded area, but it would maybe take you an hour to get from one side to the other. And you see, tied up to a tree, as you might do with your own, a horse. It is a speckled horse. Of that kind of like really light grey with white speckling and a nice white grey mane, exceedingly well groomed, to the point that it's got like is it a bridle thing that kind of whatever. The various fixings and on its saddle and everything has like little dangling tassels. It's a nice like deep blue color. The stuff that's kind of attached to it, and it looks like an awful fancy horse.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy horse.
Fancy. And it's just attached to this tree, minding its own business, straining at its ties a little bit to eat at some grass, like sort of that taller tufts of grass that grow at the base of a tree. It is currently trying to eat some of them.
Ah,
It's by itself.
That's a fancy horse. Guys, look at the fancy horse.
Look at the very fancy horse.
What's he doing there?
appears to be eaten or trying to.
I immediately just kind of pick up pace and go over and would like to just say hello, first of all. Hello, there, gorgeous.
It kind of like looks up at you for a moment, chews what's in its mouth currently, and then it just watches you.
And I'd just like to have a conversation with him as I cast Speak with Animals, please.
Okay.
This will go well.
Yep.
You are a beautiful horse.
There's kind of like a moment where he does that little like startling thing that animals kind of tenses, kind of surprised. He says, "Thank you very much."
What is your name?
Melonius.
Malone. Oh my, that's very fitting. Very fitting.
Well, thank you.
Oh, why are you attached to this tree? Where's your rider?
I don't really know.
How long have you been away for?
And he thinks, and you can tell that although like he's well-mannered and is speaking to you, a horse's process of what time is a little complicated. He's like, quite a long time.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, this is Chestnut Junior.
Hello, Chestnut.
Junior. DJ for sure.
And Chestnut probably just goes, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Chestnut.
Guess
amazing.
Oh, someone's horse needs to be Dolly now.
Aww.
Yeah, so he's just like, pleasure to meet you, and kind of bows his head to Chestnut.
Oh, I thought it
That's
was
a
me. I
fancy
bowed my head
horse.
too, and I like kind of start pushing Chestnut's head down too. I'm like, come on, do it as well. You do it too.
It's great. So
You can basically just see Amber sitting there going, no.
the thing is, like, Skip can also speak with animals if he puts his mind to it, but he's just gonna let her do it because it's like she's just speaking to a horse. Like, it's just...
It's such a
I mean, you're
fancy
welcome to go up and join in the conversation.
No, I'm just watching from afar, neighing away.
I would like to offer him. I'll be like, well, because you're so fancy, what do you eat? Is it still just grass? I know this is a really stupid question, but
It has only been grass for a while.
oh no. I'm gonna rummage in my bag and see what I have in there. Is there any like carrots
Okay.
or?
Yeah, you've probably got a few snacks. Can you roll perception for me?
Sure can. A 9.
Okay. You notice nothing. So yeah, you've got various couple of vegetables, maybe an apple or two, maybe a pear.
Oh,
Oh.
who's fancy now?
Yeah, I feed him an
Kumquat.
apple. And then
Okay.
now I give her a carrot. I'm like,
Yeah. So he happily
not
like
fancy,
nom, nom,
is it?
nom, nom, nom. Yeah. He eats it and he's like, oh, thank you very much. It's been a long time since I've had an apple. And he's doing that like really noisy crunching that horses do.
Okay. Like, oh, you're more than I just had to come over and say hello. You're just so lovely to look at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives you a little nod of his head.
And where have you been? Do you know? Where's your travels?
Well, we were on the road for a very long, many moons. And my rider is a bit of an idiot, went off into those woods wanting to prove himself, and I haven't seen him. It's been, must be a few days, I suppose.
Few days.
Hmm.
Oh no.
I'm starting to run out of grass. And you can see now, because I was going to make you roll for it, but now that he's pointed it out, you can see he's kind of eaten quite a lot of the grass that's in the immediate area he can reach whilst pulling on this harness that is attached to the tree.
Okay. Well, what would you like to do? Would you like me to move you to another tree, or would you like to come with us?
I'd quite like to go home, really.
Oh. Where is your home?
I don't know its name, but it was quite a ways away. We were traveling for a long time. His daddy didn't like him very much.
Oh.
Bit of an idiot.
Oh.
Daddy issues.
Not as majestic as you, I see. Oh. Well, I'll untie you. I'm gonna untie you. You can't sit here for another few days with no grass.
You're very kind,
Oh,
milady.
you're welcome. What was his name again? Sorry, I need to write
Melonius.
that. Melonius.
Milonius. Melonius.
I mean, feel free to come join us. We're off on an adventure ourselves, or you can wait here.
Is there a lot of food?
Medium amounts.
Places to trot? And he kind of like does that little clippy clop, sort of like on the spot movement. It's been a while since I've been able to have a good run.
Yeah.
Should we not try and find this person? No?
I'm not that far.
I'm not there. So
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Excuse my
Yes,
chair.
ample place to trot.
Then I would gladly accompany you.
Oh, great! I turn around to these guys. I'm like, guys, we've got a new horse! A new horse down! Named Melonius!
He kind of looks at you all and does the little like trotting in place thing, like show pony style.
Oh god.
I'm trying.
Ember, have you thought this through? You'll have to take care of him.
No, he's clever. He can take care of himself.
You have to feed him and like shovel
No,
his
he can
poop.
feed himself.
Are you sure?
Where is his owner?
Like
Oh.
she's like, I'm not shoveling poop.
Where's this person? He's been someone tied him
Person?
up here.
Oh, he's been here for a few days now. So I let him go because, well, I did. Really.
He kind of like once you've untied him, he starts to do like a little canter thing around you all in circles, like just clearly glad to get his legs moving again.
See? He needed to stretch his
Yeah.
legs, didn't he?
It's good.
Horses can get the zooms too, just like dogs.
That's true.
Yeah, horse zoomies.
Zoomies. Yeah.
Adorable.
I'm
Even I, as a DM, I'm like, I love him.
Yeah. Um. Did he say where his person went? Is he gonna be mad that we're still on this
Into the
horse?
woods. Don't do it. Into the woods after.
Into the woods.
Apparently, he's a bit of an idiot, and he tried to prove himself somehow. His dad doesn't like him either.
The horse's dad? Skip asks sincerely.
The writer's dad.
Oh.
And then I get a bit confused, so I'm like, wait, I don't know.
As he's doing the zoomies around you all, he goes, "It's his dad."
Oh, it's his dad.
Like he can
okay.
still understand you. Yeah. He can't really understand what the others are saying, but he knows what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we keep going then?
I mean, I feel like
I
I,
know,
shouldn't have to explain to you, Ember, why this is a bad idea. You should know
it's a
better
bad
by
idea-
now.
It's a bad idea to leave him tied up.
For
when
his
he's still
owner
in
to
his
come
dad.
back, which
Wait,
it was
you're
meant to
supposed to
someone
know
to
it's gonna
untie
die.
Chestnut Jr. And you were in a cave somewhere, you'd be furious.
No, I wouldn't. If the horse was starving, I would be fine with that. I would make my own way home. I look away.
He comes up to you, Ember, and sort of like nudges, like, because like horses are actually very soft, and just like nuzzles his nose against your hand.
See, just lovely. He's over with us.
We should at least try and find his person to see if they're dead or not.
I mean, is that what you want to do? Or ask Melodius?
Oh, I suppose it would be tying up loose ends, but really he's a bit of an idiot. I wouldn't be surprised if he was killed.
I have gold.
Exactly. I say exactly to you guys, thinking you guys
Yeah.
know what he's saying.
What he said.
Yeah.
Like, see?
What he said.
Ember, think it through. Think it through. I can't hear what
God,
the
I've
horse
got the
said.
voice of reason. Like, oh,
He said he's most likely dead, so I'm taking his word for it.
Well, we should give him a proper burial and take his stuff.
Eric.
I said give him a proper burial.
Fine.
Skip is just—he doesn't know what to do here. He's like, for God's sake, guys.
Yep. It's your choice. What do you want
Both
to do?
members of the party are supposing theft. Really?
He's worried that his eye rolls are gonna get stuck in the back of his head. Like,
Back to last Tuesday.
yeah.
What are you gonna do? Carry on or look for him?
I think we should look for him.
I think we should carry on with Melodius.
Melonia says, "I'll stay here with you, milady. I'll keep you safe." And he does the
Milady.
little canter thing again, like.
Chestnut's probably like, what the fuck? Like-
Right?
Chestnut probably likes him too.
That's a weak crush on him. Okay. It's up to you, boss. I've turned into like a little stubborn child now, like a little brat, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
What
wanna
does
make this
Bayshore
decision.
think?
I know. What does Bayshore think? Bayshore would be probably all for freeing the horse, right?
Beishra would probably be distressed at the fact that the horse was left tied up there for 3 days.
Yeah.
I feel my boop, 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 tapping into Beishra mind.
Yeah.
Who's the pink squishy one? Why did he leave the horse?
Yeah.
Especially because she's got a chip on her shoulder with the other guy who was mean to animals, like the Manticore guy,
Okay.
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. Here's what I think.
Neil.
We don't want to postpone this for too long. So if we go and we can't find him real quick, then we leave and the horse can do what it wants.
The horse is coming with
Okay.
us.
If he wants to come with us, that's fine. I'm not forcing it.
it's up to you guys. If you want to roll survival to check for him,
Mm,
I'm happy enough to let somebody roll on behalf of Aisha.
sure.
So roll a d20 out of 4.
Who's rolling? Sure.
Sorry, I just did.
Ah.
20 but unnatural for Bashra.
Okay. It takes a little while. Not long, but maybe like the better part of an hour. Eventually you do find the body of a skinny, kind of waifish, but dressed ostentatiously young gentleman lying face down in the dirt.
Are we all there?
Depends if you all went looking.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Just to show Melonius that he can come with us now.
Okay.
I'll go over and even though he's what I assume is quite clearly dead, I'm gonna go and look for vital signs.
Okay. You go over to put your fingers against his throat to realize that there's not much of a throat there.
Put my hand through it.
It appears that some wild beast savaged him in the woods.
Okay. Tell me about his outfit.
It's got that kind of like really deep blue that matches his horse's get-up. It's that kind of crushed velvet.
Does he have a hat?
No, not one that you can see.
Oh, man.
It's
I'm
kind
out.
of like a fancy outfit. He has a satchel around him. It's kind of being torn a little bit because whoever it was that was savaging him maybe got him by the bag first. Who knows?
Those are bad.
Nice pair of boots, that kind of thing. There is a bag, yeah.
I asked Melonius, I'm like, so is that your owner? Your rider?
Stop.
Nicely done, Self-Pro.
Yeah.
Got a good law.
No, I trust over there. How do I type it?
I'm in character, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, sorry, what did you say? You're checking with the horse if that is definitely his owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, that's him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he kind of tilts his head and he's, suppose it was inevitable.
Wah, wah.
He wasn't known for his sensible decision.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't want to do it because I think it's in poor taste, even though I did just seriously consider stealing his clothes. Not that they would have fit me, but whatever. I'm like, Eric, go and loot him, please.
Eric, go and loot him, please.
Yeah, look in that satchel, please.
I'm looking for identification in portable property.
Mm-hmm.
Eric struggles with the clasps. That was a 5.
Oh.
For God's sake, you had one job. Get out of here, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really
Tough little shit.
too much. It appears that maybe the stuff kind of got strewn around while he was getting savaged. What you do see in the bag, it's clearly like he's tried to make a bag that you would go traveling with and put in just like completely unnecessary things.
Okay.
So there's like a bottle of perfume.
Okay.
There is 2 little gemstones in there.
Oh.
To be, well, they're gems, so they're not like shiny, like gem-like kind. They look like a really dark, grey color. I'm trying to think of the word, and it's completely gone from my head right now.
Like an onyx or
And
something.
kind of, yeah. It's like a grey color.
Okay.
You don't know enough about geology right now to really identify it properly.
Hannah doesn't openly.
Skip, yeah. There is also. You're welcome to have a check, Eric, if you want. You are a gnome, no, sorry.
You are a gnome.
Words.
How
You're
very
a gnome.
dare you!
You're a dwarf from the mountains. You also find a copper cooking pot and a 2-pound bag of cooking spices.
Yes.
Just spices, no other ingredients.
Yep.
I'll take the lot.
Like that. You know those jars of like mixed spice? It's a bit like
Yeah. Like
Mixed, well, that
Costco-sized bags
Yeah.
of spices.
that. Yeah.
Ye olde Costco.
The old high fancy Costco.
Costcodius.
Oh,
Yeah. So you find that.
Okay.
Skip wants to take the Actually, wait, do I have a cooking pot?
Don't think you do.
I do not. I take it and the spices.
Okay.
Gonna make a jambalaya or something on the road. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We chili maybe.
So you managed to retrieve his item, his satchel, his attempt at making a travel bag, and yeah, you find the fallen owner of Melonius.
Oh God, can I swap horses?
Oh, for chestnut,
No,
Junior.
No,
Fucking
no,
animal.
that's me speaking. Or Amber would never.
Yeah.
Do that. Never.
Can we just
You
add
can certainly
Melonius to
do
our
the thing
pot?
where you attach him to your horse so that you're kind of taking him in
Guiding.
tow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you could ride with a foot on each saddle. Acrobat
Oh
style.
my god, like one of those circus people, like standing on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want that.
I don't know if she's got the dexterity for that.
No.
I want her to try.
Get training.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yes, you appear to have solved the mystery of fancy.
Hmm.
Yay.
Well, in that case, because I see that this poor fancy man, you know, rip basically, I say to Ember, good work there. I'm sorry I sassed you. This poor horse might have starved to death.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. Is he fancy though?
Well, a little bit fancy.
Not fancy anymore.
No,
He
not
does
the
look
man,
really
the
fancy.
horse. I don't care.
The horse is fancy as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The man kind of looks like he's probably of noble birth, but he has the look about him in terms of like how fancy he's dressed and how little and skinny he is of like a minstrel, you know.
Yes.
But
Was there
yes,
any sign
so,
of what killed him? Or no?
it was savaged enough that it was definitely some manner of beast.
Okay.
You're welcome to fully inspect if you want to try and make a guess, but there's
It's fine.
a lot of wild beasts in them there.
He was a fool to go in by himself, you know, so...
Yeah.
Here we are.
Is he not even armed or anything?
No.
He had a bag of
look armed.
spices.
Yeah.
Cooking pot.
Just like string it.
What's he gonna do? Marinate it to death?
Yes. He's gonna do
No.
like look at spice and just throw it in his
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
Yes.
So you take Melonius with you. You now have an extra mount, and you guys head off back on the road again.
On the road again.
Can I get Ember to roll a d20 for me?
Sure can. 9.
9. Okay. Roll a d10 for me.
D10, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe. Here it is.
The one there's
Sorry.
2 of.
Yeah, I got 4.
Okay.
I just couldn't find my one.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Basically, when you head off on the road, you're it's funny how these two things are quite... No, head off on the road again. You have stopped to camp somewhere. There's still bits of daylight, but you're aware that it is getting darker, and it seems that the road ahead is a little safer, so you decide to take a stop while you get decent enough cover. While you guys are setting up camp, let's see. 2 is you. 4. 2. Can someone roll a d6 for me?
Yes. 3.
Okay. While you're setting up camp and Skip is getting his tent put together, you're about to put the tent down on the ground, and you realise that in amongst the kind of bits of bracken and various normal debris you would get here, you see that an interesting shaped net, like it's bigger than your average nest, seems to have fallen over, perhaps blown over in the wind.
Oh no.
There's a couple broken bits of shell, and then one fairly large, like this kind of large, egg just on the ground.
Oh no. I scoop it up and keep it warm.
Okay. Oh, goodness. You pick it up and it's quite heavy, actually. And it doesn't have warmth to it right now, so you try to keep it warm in the hopes that maybe whatever is inside there survives. Not something that's necessarily going to produce right away, but you do kind of nestle it and get it warm. How would you like to keep it warm through the night?
I cuddle it.
Okay.
Basically.
Draw a little face on it.
Yeah. This is my friend Egg.
Yeah.
Are you gonna draw a goatee
Eggle.
on it?
Oh, Eggle. It finally happened. This is my friend Eggle.
Yeah. So yeah, you have found a mysterious, fairly hefty sized.
Could I do a
it's
nature
kind of-
check on it? See if I recognize it at all from
Yeah,
my
sure.
vast egg knowledge. 2.
I'd
No,
like to
wait,
roll
hang on.
for egg, please.
4.
4. You're not sure. You've certainly never encountered it.
For all I know, it could be a stone. Like.
Yeah, you're literally cradling a rock. Yeah, you are not sure.
Okay.
You're not sure what it is. It's kind of like a dark green color. Just. But yeah, you cradle it through the night and keep it warm.
Okay.
The night goes by fairly uneventful.
Goes
Goes
by.
pie.
Goes
Goes
I
pie.
said goes by.
Sounds like pie. It's
Basically.
definitely pie.
Mince pies. It goes by fairly uneventful, and another day emerges.
How's my egg doing?
It's warmer now that you've been.
When
it.
like we're traveling with it, I don't have a shirt on. God damn it! Stick it under my armpit or something,
Okay.
delicately.
Yeah.
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 And
When you're on the
gas
horse, you
what's
kind
over
of
living.
nestle it between your legs.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
You keep it warm for your next few days of travel. So you've acquired an egg and a horse. I just find it funny that both of those things would end in potential collecting of things, potential not.
We've started a
let's-
zoo.
We're starting a menagerie. Yes. Can you roll for me one more time? Let's have Skip roll the d20.
Sure. Just straight D20.
Yep.
17.
And tell me if it's even or odd.
Oh, odd.
17. It's another odd. Y'all keep rolling odd. Okay. And Ember. Did you roll the d10 last time?
I did both.
Okay. Eric, can you roll the d10?
Yeah. 7.
7.
Can you roll again for me?
5.
Ooh. Okay. So you're traveling in an area that's a bit more hilly, more rocky. You come across one. It's kind of like a watchtower in a way, kind of like the ones you encounter in Skyrim. It appears to be manned by a couple people who are generic guards of the area, who kind of watch as you approach, take a minute to see what your likely business, and then give you guys nods as you pass by. It appears that they just keep a lookout for travelers and if there's going to be any trouble. And you carry on. Eventually you reach a part of the road that kind of winds, and you're definitely now taking a western road rather than going north. You've been going north up till now, and you start to take a left to the west road. As you go a little further, kind of nestled into the side of the road, there is a ruin of a watchtower on the side of the road. And just generally, because it's getting a little later, it's getting more into evening, that's 5, 6 o'clock, it's not fully dark yet, but it's definitely, the sun is starting to set, and that colder air meeting the lack of sunlight now starts to create this fog. So you just get this kind of shroud of fog and into these ruins, and you're aware that in the ruins there seems to be like a rookery now. There's like about maybe 12 crows all just kind of like cawing and watching you all down in the road.
Spooky.
Wow. That's creepy as fuck.
Yep.
Mm.
It's like part of the one side of the wall has clearly fallen down at some point in its past, and now it seems fairly empty.
Apart from the birds.
Yeah. Spooky. Ember, go and speak to them.
No. I would like to keep moving.
Can I? Is there sufficient hole in the wallness for me to have a peek in, see if there's anything interesting,
Yeah.
or just Flappy Birds?
Run in and scare them away. Flappy
You can
birds.
roll perception for a generic list, or you can roll an investigation if a point of interest within the ruin.
Let's investigate, shall we?
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. 7.
You don't roll very high to pick up details, but there's definitely a massive hole in, like, the hole's all the way down the side of the building, so you can see 2 levels of this watchtower, just exposed from the wall that has come down.
Well, that was interesting. Let's go. I'm kind of curious. I want to.
Skip
my
goes
head.
into it with his night vision goggles on so he can see.
Okay.
Eric will
So
toss her
you
in as
pop
well.
your
'Cause he
night
wants to
vision
be
goggles.
involved.
I'll make
Yeah,
sure my horse
especially
is
because
safe.
the light is starting to dim now slightly, so
I just mean
Yeah,
if
it's
I'm
definitely
kind of... I
getting
know
darker.
that there's like a ruined wall and stuff, but I want to
Yeah.
make sure... Yeah.
yeah, a combination of the two means that they'll probably be needed for.
Yeah, sure.
So you put on your goggles and head on in. You kind of have to clamber it a bit at first, just to get past some of the rubble and the debris. But
The
you do
dibbity.
the debris, and you make your way in, and you can see that there's this room that is mostly exposed, and then there's 2 doorways that seem to lead into rooms that are intact.
Okay. I'd like to go and just kind of have a listen at the nearest doorways. Just... Do the crows
Okay,
like
I mean-
stir when I go in? Do they go crazy?
They're generally interested to see what you're doing. To see, you hazard a guess that they make nests in the higher reach places, so
Okay,
they're just
okay.
too
Fuck
watchful.
it. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go and open a door.
Okay, there is no doors, in fact.
Oh,
It's just
right.
a-
Sorry. Okay, just doorways.
Yeah.
I go into the one on the left.
You head on in. It is the furnishings have gone. There's not really much in the way of furniture. It's just kind of further debris on the ground, maybe bits of broken wood, that kind of thing.
Okay.
You can roll either perception or casual glances or investigation to look more closely for something.
I'd just like to see if there's any... I mean, if it's just kind of an empty room or if there's actually anything in here rather than just trash, you know? So I think it'd be more general, really, but...
Like a perception.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
you
not
can roll a
looking for
perception.
something-
What are the
I would like to investigate the other room.
Okay. Go
And-
in and roll investigation then.
I'm muted. Sorry.
Sorry.
Is Ember just
6.
kind of hanging back at the moment?
Yeah, I'm
With the
not. I'm
horses
just
and
staying with the
stuff.
horses.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. What did Skip get?
17.
Nice, well done.
Thank you.
You are looking around. Eric, you don't really see much. It's just debris and broken bits of stuff, and clearly it wasn't a very strong build of stonework to have fallen.
Must have been human.
Yeah. Skip, you do notice that underneath some of the debris and the broken bits of wood, it's very well hidden because it's wood under wood, but there does appear to be some manner of latched door on the ground.
Latched
under this
door.
plank wood.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go open it. I'll call to Eric. Eric, come here. Here, buddy. Here.
It appears to be
Eric joins.
locked currently.
Anyone know how to pick a lock?
I've got some janky bullets. We could blow the lock.
Let's not. Can I...
There are several ways to open a door.
Is it...
Not all of them safe.
Is it kind of old and gross looking? Like worn?
Relatively.
Can
It's
I,
not like
can I just try
soggy.
and force it? Soggy.
But you could certainly try to break it open.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do
So
have
can
an
you roll
axe.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna try and break it in.
with your axe.
Yeah.
Okay, roll to attack then.
Hey, hey, hey. Ooh, rolled a fucking 20. Woo.
Hey. I was gonna look at like what does the object armor cost? Natural 20. Smash it to smithereens.
Smithereens.
Yeah. Below you see, deceptively, it just kind of looks like a dark hole. But on second glance, especially with your night vision goggles on, you can see better definitions in textures.
Okay.
Yeah, it appears there is just some dark laid over the top of something, and you lift off and you see a chest in there.
I open it. I hope it's not a mimic.
Okay. Again, there is a lock on this, but it does appear to be a particularly old lock. It's hard to tell with these runes, but they do look very old.
Okay.
And certainly with your barbaric Goliath strength, it doesn't take much to bust it open.
Mm-hmm.
And within, underneath
Yes.
another shrouded fabric, you find a bit of a mother load, if I'm quite honest.
Glad we went in.
Nice.
There was potential you could have just walked past this stuff.
Mm.
I will give you exact stats afterwards because you are gonna have to take.
Stats.
Yeah, you're gonna
Ooh.
have to take a break with these things to really figure them out. But we are
Ooh.
almost finished with our session, so I
Okay,
will
okay.
tell you that within, you find a set of leather armor. It looks quite nice. There's kind of like a couple embellishments.
Okay. Okay.
You get a set of bracers.
Okay.
You get a little pouch with some coins in it.
Mm-hmm.
You get, there's like a bundle of 10 arrows and a broken bow. You
Okay.
get a random potion. It's hard to tell what's in it. It kind of looks like there's nothing in it. But then maybe there is some. It's hard to tell. You just think, you kind of look at it and you think, I'm going to give this to someone who knows what they're talking about. There's a really fancy pair of gloves. They kind of just look like fabric gloves on first glance, but it's a set of gloves. And there's a very interesting looking great axe.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. I take the lot.
Woohoo! You probably close the chest and take the chest out.
Yeah. We'll deal
towards
with it
the horse.
later.
Yeah. But you definitely just find a little loot cache there.
I'm excited.
Damn.
I go out like skipping. I'm like, guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's happened? What's happened? What did you find? Is everything
Found
okay?
everything. Everything's great. Everything you could ever want and more.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of got, because that was the not to give, yeah, no, right. But you found a little stash of cash. It's kind of like when you're playing a computer game and you open up something and you're like, oh my god, look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
Best loot ever.
Take all of the things. So yes, you bring the stuff, and perhaps not want to linger too long at the weird foggy ruins with all of the crows. You maybe go a little bit further before you set camp for the night. And with you setting up camp and being able to properly look at these items under some firelight, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
We're on the road,
fun.
guys.
Ah, that was good. I'm really enjoying this rolling of the dice stuff. That's really fun.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is something when I like run that last adventure. This is a part of. I mean, I like old school dungeon crawl. But I
Old school
really
what,
like
sorry?
just dungeon crawls.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but I think encounters on the road is just ace fun because you don't really. Even I don't know what you're gonna.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, with that, that is us over for tonight's session. We will all see you next week to carry on our travels on the road. If you want to catch me as a player, you can tune in at the RPG Labs on Friday nights, where I'm playing. It's a really cool game where we're an archaeology team who are going around the desert doing digs looking for old gods. It's pretty spiffy. So there's a lot of like getting down into dungeons, and it's very let's go. everything I love and more. So if you want to see that, tune in on Fridays at the RPG Labs. We tend to tweet out about it and on Discord and that kind of thing. So hit me up if you want to see me playing. Other than that, anyone else got anything they would like to say before we finish?
Just quick,
yeah.
just thank you to everyone who has stuck through our technical difficulties.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
all
was
I
going
was
to
gonna
say.
say.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
patience, guys.
Yeah, really appreciate it. We're still trying to figure it out. We had it pretty smooth to begin with, but then things
Stuff
got in the way.
happened.
Yeah,
Sky!
so,
We'll hope to get
Thank
back
you.
to it.
yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your
Um,
patience. We do really, really appreciate it. And for all the bits and the subs.
I know, right?
I know.
Love
Thank
you
you.
guys. Thank you
What the
for your
heck?
support.
It's great.
Thanks. You guys have been really supportive, and we love you all, especially those who regularly tune in live with us every week. That is fatty. Those of you who are catching up just now on YouTube, you have the thankful situation of not being there for the technical glitches. But you, getting to catch up. I know that quite a lot of you out there do watch us on YouTube instead because of either being busy or working or whatever. And we appreciate every single one of you.
Yes, we do.
We love you guys. Okay.
Yes.
No,
On
that's not
that
hard.
wonderful zappy note, it has been quite an emotional session.
Yeah, unexpectedly
Yeah.
so.
It was
Don't know where
good.
that came from.
Yeah.
So many emotions,
Emotions,
like heartrending despair.
creepy,
Um,
Difficult
just,
decisions, which I
My-
failed. Anyway, yeah.
My
humorous
absolute,
horse conversations.
I know. My favorite
Gotta love a horse.
unexpected weird little thing of tonight, because of ended up using Discord whatever video stuff, seemingly right down the middle of my face, that disconnect
Yeah,
is,
that line.
and like I
yeah.
blink at different times like a fucking
Yeah,
lizard.
Yeah.
I've been laughing all night at it.
Yeah, me too. I know.
Wait,
Like-
what?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it back and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
noticed
see that. It's
No,
really-
not now.
It's not
just-
doing it now.
No, it's not.
but-
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit.
Hannah has a
Oh,
little.
there, I
going-
just saw it, I
Emma
just
has a
saw
little
it.
claw going on now.
Yeah.
No, anyways,
Anyway, yeah.
We're trying our best to fix it. It may be the end of January before we can really get a proper solid solution, but with Skype kind of fucking us over, we're still trying to find something that works for us. So
It's alright. It's alright.
yeah, hang with us,
It picked
guys.
up a bit towards the end there, so we'll see. We'll see.
I know.
Anyway, that was fun. Thank you, Emma, as
Yes.
always.
Mhm.
Good session.
Thank you.
Good session.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week we'll have the lovely Beisher back again.
Love
Yeah.
it, Rachel, back again.
TBD. Missed her this week.
Find out what all these items are.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Alright,
Exactly.
bye.
Anyway, thank you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.